Yeah! Oh, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. That's some of that good stuff right there. Oh! What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome. Come on in. Sit on down. Grab your favorite snack, drink of choice, poison of choice, and have fun, my friends. Woo! Speaking of poison, cheers. This is a soft drink, not not any of that alcohol that some people, I guess, drink. No, come on. We all have a little fun every now and then. It's all right. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Jake's just spewing nonsense as he usually does. How you guys doing? What's going on? Holy shit, we got a lot of messages. Tori, what's going on? Ghostface and Freddy are the best. Yes. Love me some Wes Craven villains, Tori. I love them. Love them a whole lot. We're going to be talking a lot about Freddy lately because Jake's, I don't know, I'm on a nightmare kick right now, man. I'm going through all these movies. They're crazy as fuck. I've only seen some of the sequels like one time, so I'm hyped to be going through these again. I forgot how nutty they really get. I forgot how bad some of the characters are too, but that's a whole nother conversation. But nightmare movies, man, they're fucking wild. I'll tell you that much. Kyle's with us tonight. What's up? That sounded scary. What's going on, my KillJoy Jake fam? Let's talk slashers. Fuck yeah. Who do you think? Who would win in a battle, Ghostface or Freddy? Obviously it's Freddy, but well, hang on now. Hang on now. If we're playing with the rules of the first movie, which are inconsistent throughout the rest of all of the Nightmare films, something I've been hilariously taking note of. Ghostface could pull Freddy out of the dream world and fuck him up, man. Like, listen, Ghostface knows his horror movies, okay? There's an argument to be made here if we're going off of the first movie rules. So I don't know, man. I feel like that's a little closer than to say. Tori is saying Freddy is supernatural. If we're on Freddy's side, if we're at home turf Freddy, then yeah, Ghostface is getting fucked. But otherwise, I feel like Ghostface has a chance here. I'm just not going to answer that question because I don't want that to come true. Becoming the Dark, you're scaring the hell out of me, honestly. Scott's got like 100 questions. Scott, you are so excited, and I love it. I'm going to randomly pick one of these questions, and then I'm going to answer that. And if you have another one you want me to answer later on, we'll get to that. Okay, here we go. If we have a Ghostface cult in Scream 7, bam! What do you think the idea of having a bonfire scene where all the Ghostfaces, like, they get a cult going around a fire, and oh god, Jesus, this is turning into some stuff I don't think I can talk about on YouTube here, Mr. Scott. Mr. Walker. Are you related to Johnny? Huh. I don't know, because that sounded a little scary. Sounded scary and not so good of a way, if you catch my drift there, where you were going there at the end. So I don't know about that one. What's up, Aaron? How's it going? Did it just lag, or was that just my phone? It might have been me and my weird fucking face and voice. I don't know, though. Good question, Aaron. Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member. I appreciate you. What's up, RJ? How's it going? Ghostface, baby. Can't get enough. Hell yeah. Scream 7 better be coming, baby. I'm looking for it, man. Looking for it, RJ. Welcome. Horror Den, how's it going? Hey, fam-a-lam, hope all is well. Things are good, man. Things are great. How are you doing in your den of horror and movies and hopefully scary shit? Because I like all of it. I like all that stuff. Very nice. Hope you're doing well as well. Welcome in. Austin Daniels, yo, what's up? Been a while since I caught a stream. What's going on with Scream 7? Because I've seen video titles about it, but never watched them. All right, so, yeah, let's talk about that. I'm not going to make a video about this stuff because I just don't feel like it, but there's a lot of rumors going on right now that, basically to sum it all up, like that a bunch of people have made videos about. I don't feel like repeating it because none of it's confirmed, and it's all just coming from some random person on Twitter probably. It's that Scream 7's in active development and Sidney Prescott may or may not be back. It's not news. I don't know. I'm not going to make a video on it. I don't want to waste y'all's time, honestly. That's kind of how I feel about it. But it's just rumors, smoke and mirrors, people talking. That's all it is, Austin. Nothing confirmed for as of right now. There's some rumors and theories going around. But when actual news hits, I'll be cranking out videos, cranking them out. And that sounds pretty gross, doesn't it? What's up, Ashley? How's it going? Howdy, hey, welcome. Ilum's with us as well. What's up? Welcome to the stream, my friends. Hello. Mario and Sonic fan is saying, I hope that red-faced demon won't be defeated. You want the Lamberts to die? You want them to die. Okay, you know what? Here's what I want from Insidious 5 more than anything. I just want a backstory. Mario and Sonic fan, I want my red-faced demon backstory. I want to know what the hell was going on with that thing beforehand. We kind of got like a loose backstory with all the other demons, you know, a little bit here and there, and I thought that was kind of cool, so I would like some of that with the red-faced demon. We don't know too much about him, except that he makes little dolls with his little sewing machine and he listens to Tiny Tim. So that's what I know about him. Cobra Truth is saying, I want Saw X and the Nun too. Interesting combo. Very, very interesting. Some James Wan franchise continuations, technically. I like that, Cobra Truth. Very different movies, obviously, but still has a little cute connection, which I like. Cobra. Very good stuff right there. I'm excited for both. You know, the first Nun didn't blow me away, but I'm hyped to see what they do for the sequel. The Conjuring movies are always so fun. You know what I mean? They're always just fun to watch. So I'm down. I'm down for the theater experience at the very least. And Saw X, I expect to be in my top 10 list of horror movies. I'm very excited for that one. Is Scream 7 announced? No, it is not, Dr. Andy. Just rumors. Just rumors. This is why I don't like making videos about all this stuff, because then things get blurred. People blur the lines between rumor and fact. I'm getting all over dramatic now, but you get my point. Oh, you saw The Blackening today. Very nice, very nice. I was gonna catch it last night, but I was wiped. I've been landscaping all weekend. Old Jake's ready for a nap. I almost took today off. I was like, oh man, shit's crazy. Landscaping, it's hard work, you know, especially when you've been sitting in a chair for God knows how long. Working, because that's what I do for work nowadays. I sit in a chair. It's fun. It's very fun. It's very fun. I'm not in no way complaining. I just realized I don't have the live stream up, and that's no fun, because then we can't see what's going on, all the things that are all the fun things going on in the chat. And Olaf the snowman just became a member, so we got to talk about all these things. I love snowmen, and I love when they become members. So thank you, Olaf. I appreciate that. So it was hilarious and also suspenseful. So it was a little scary because it looks like a straight up comedy to me, Ashley. So hit me up with some deets, but don't spoil anything. No, not too many deets, but just a little bit. Just a little bit of them. I want to know just a little bit. Was it actually scary? I want to hear the spoiler-free review, Ashley. Hit me with it. Sarah Campbell's with us as well. What's up, Sarah? How's it going? Welcome. Thanks for being here. Sarah's the best. Sarah's always killing it in the streams. We appreciate the hell out of you. Denisha's here too, and a great mod. Thanks for being here, Denisha. Appreciate you. Johnny Hideout UK. What's up, Johnny? How's it going? Welcome. Howdy hey. Olaf, thank you for becoming a member, and thank you for throwing a $2 super chat in there too, Olaf. I appreciate you. Huge fan. Stu Macher lives. Hey man, keep it alive. Keep it alive. Keep the Stu train rolling. Maybe it'll happen one day. I won't be happy about it, but you will, and that's what matters. As long as someone's happy, I'm happy. Sure. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for the $2. I appreciate it. Stu coming back. Let's see it happen. Let's make it happen. Scott Walker is saying, out of all the Ghostface masks out there, which one would you think is the scariest out of all the masks? Well, I made a whole movie about one of the other masks and why I think that more people should adopt scarier Ghostface masks, because it's a classic. You know, the white mask, it's awesome, it's great, but that devil mask is pretty fucking sick too. I really like that one. That's probably my favorite variant that I've seen. I really like the Scream 612. It's all cracked and broken and gross zombie Ghostface. I like that one too. I really like the devil Ghostface though. Devil Ghostface is probably one of my favorite looks, which is why we chose it. It's not even Danny Johnson's default costume too. We were just like, oh, it's pretty cool though. You know, we could get one that just looks like Danny Johnson, the typical robes with the strings and all that, but it's like the stringy like stuff on his arms. It's just really impractical, like the Father Death robe. So I wanted to get something that was a little more tactical feel. So like our Devil Ghostface had a different vibe to it. Like it was a little more, you know, contained. He has this gigantic poncho, and we tried to like push it down and shit. I don't know. It was cool though. Mr. Fazbear, what's up? How's it going? Big fan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Fredward Fazbear, if I can call you that, of course. I don't want to offend you or nothing, but super excited for Terrifier 3. What would you like to be the super messed up kill? Great question. Also, what would you expect from a new Freddy movie? This is really tough because listen, there's a reason I've been saying in all my videos, I don't know how I would top it, but I hope this team can figure that out. It's because I genuinely don't know how you can possibly top that bedroom scene. It's fucking crazy, you know? Honest to God, I think the only thing that can get crazier than that is just genuinely having Art the Clown like tie someone to a chair and just start ripping the like pieces off of them. Essentially, I really, how else do you do that? What else can you do? How can you make it crazier than the bedroom scene, Mr. Fazbear? You know, it's a really tough topic to talk about. I'd have to think about it for weeks on end. I truly to beat that. From a new Freddy movie, the biggest thing I want, which I talked about today, and my God, your guys' comments are some of the best that I've seen on a video yet. Y'all had some killer suggestions today for who should play Freddy. My big thing I said was they have to do Freddy Krueger right. They can't just have some guy come in there and be all scary. You know, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be, Freddy's got to be this silly motherfucker running around having a blast killing teenagers, man. Like, if he's not having a good time, if Freddy's not absolutely having the best time of his life killing all these people, I don't know. Like, I'm no longer interested. You know, I want to see Freddy having a fun time, cutting his own fingers off, you know, being like, ha ha, this is God. You know, I want all that shit, man. That's what I'm realizing about the Freddy Krueger movies after watching so many of them. It's, you gotta have that silly factor in there. I talk about, with Scream, I'm like, I think this can get darker because the concept lends itself to that. It's a guy in a mask killing somebody. There's nothing supernatural about it. But with Freddy Krueger, man, part of the fun is that it's fun. It's like, oh, Freddy's like, oh, I get to kill. he's throwing quips out there. You know he's having a good time. You know he's having a great time doing all that. So, gotta have that personality there, or I just don't think it works personally. Mr. Rick has been a member for 4 months. Mr. Rick, thank you so much for your support, my friend. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I love your profile picture too, by the way. Still rocking the red right hand shit. I love it. Did you ever see Becky and Wrath of Becky? Dude, no, I have not seen these movies, and I just saw the trailer for Wrath of Becky, and it looks awesome. I'm like, this is shot so well. This seems like just a really fun revenge plot movie. I'm sure the first one has a similar vibe. The trailer for the second one, haven't seen it yet, definitely gives me a bit of a John Wick vibe, but almost as like kind of like a meta, you know, not nudge, wink, wink kind of thing. I enjoyed it. I'm like, that's awesome, dude. That's sick. So I'm actually really excited to finally watch that at some point. The trailer, I really all I know about those movies is the trailer for the second film, but at some point I will watch both of them. Maybe I'll do them as like a little like Patreon review thing. That might be fun. At some point it's happening. Dylan's with us as well. Freddy's face can project his goofy personality, while Ghostface can glorify himself with dialogue. Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Pretty good point there. I like that. Freddy being goofy with his personality makes those movies, man. Like, that's the thing. I could care less about some of the characters. Heather Langenkamp being the outlier, the exclusion. But, man, I need some silly Freddy in my life. Silly Freddy with the darkness edge as well. What's up, Jason? How's it going? Happy Juneteenth. Hell yes. It is a national holiday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Juneteenth. Thanks for being here, Jason. I appreciate you. The Nun 2 trailer looks good. Holy fuck, did I miss that? What? What do you mean the Nun 2 trailer looks good? I've actually been looking for Nun 2 news because I'm like, man, there's just nothing. Oh, okay, wait, hang on now. Okay. Okay, no, there's nothing crazy out yet. Okay, Ashley had me worried there. Barb is saying it's always a good day when Jake is streaming. Thank you so much, Barb. I appreciate that. You make a Monday feel like a weekend. Good. That's why we do it. That's why we do it, Barb. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a KillJoy cult member too. I appreciate you. Snarlin Carlin's with us tonight. What's up, Carlin? Snarling around. I have seen The Flash. Oh man, you said unnecessary hate. It's a solid film. The director of it is directing the new Batman. Hoping for Jensen Ackles as the next Bruce Wayne. Real quick talk about this. I'm not going to do a review on it. Listen, it's getting unnecessary hate. I agree with you. I still wasn't a big fan of it. Is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No, not at all. But I wasn't crazy about it. I think that Michael Keaton is fucking awesome. Like, I think he's fantastic, kills it. He's such a good Batman. I hope we get to see a solo Michael Keaton Batman movie. I almost feel like that's what they should have done. I wasn't crazy about it. I give it like a 4 out of 10. No spoilers, obviously, but the baby sequence is really dumb. I could not get past that. Like, the fact that that's really the first thing you see, I'm like, I don't know, man. That's not a very good introduction, in my opinion. That really threw me off the boat real quick there. But the moment Michael Keaton gets in the movie, it takes off. I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. Okay, I'm sold. Not crazy about Ezra Miller either. Like, besides the personal life stuff, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking performance-wise. I've just never been super crazy about him. So he really just doesn't do it for me. All the jokes just did not land for me at all. I did not care for the humor, really. What else is going on here? Olaf, thank you again for being a new member. I appreciate the hell out of you. What else is going on? Who else is hanging out with us tonight? Isaiah and Renee. I never know if I can pronounce this right. Isaiah and Renee. I want to say it's Renee, but that's not how you spell Renee. So I don't know. Maybe it is how you spell Renee. I don't know. Isaiah, though. Thank you to you and whoever this other person is. I appreciate you. I've seen the first Hatchet. I honestly wasn't crazy about it, but it deserves a rewatch. I don't remember it all too well. I should go and check it out again. Can't wait for Evil Dead Rise. Oh, is it not out? Are you in another country? I'm just curious. If it's not out yet for you, Aaron, hit me up with that about Evil Dead Rise. I'm very curious about that. Oh, I got some super chats. Let's talk about that. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the 11 Canadian dollars. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. I don't have anything to contribute to the conversation. I'm just packing for vacation while listening and wanted to say hi. Also, finally watched Infinity Pool at your suggestion, and it was great. Oh, shit. Okay, well, two things here. First of all, Sarah, I hope you have a killer vacation. Hope you have a very fun time. Thank you for hanging out with me for some reason while you do all of that, listening to my ugly voice. But the other thing with that is Infinity Pool. How about that, right? All I'm going to say is nipples. Damn. Some crazy nipple action in that one. And it's fucking wild. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had a good time with it. It blew my fucking mind. And I think it's really funny that you watched it right before vacation, just like kind of my situation with it too. I think that's why it scared me even more, because as I was going on vacation, I was kind of like looking over my shoulder and shit. I'm like, if Gabby comes up to me at some point, dude, I'm getting the fuck out. I'm getting on the next plane out of here, dude. So don't be too terrified on your vacation. Have a good time. Don't let that movie plant a little seed in your head and inspire all this fear. That's my advice. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the 11. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Rick is with us tonight as well. Mr. Rick, thank you for being a member for 4 months, and thank you for the $5, man. I really appreciate it. Saying, what if they brought back Stu at the end of 6 just to kill him at the beginning of 7? Then what would be the point? That's my thing. Listen, if you can find a way to bring back Stu and make it all make sense, I'm down. I'm also not a stickler for like realism in movies. That's not even my problem with the whole Stu thing. I don't even care. I just know that there would be months and months and months of relentless, like, just people posting about like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. There's that. That would be the big argument, which I think is a little misguided. That's not the issue with Stu coming back. It's the fact that you're kind of killing one of the coolest elements about Scream by bringing any returning character back as the killer. That's my issue with it. I love Stu. I love Matthew Lillard, but there's two things about bringing Stu back at this point that just I wouldn't want to see personally. He wouldn't be all funny and goofy and zany like how he is in the original, because he's been locked in a basement for 35 years. I don't think any of us would be very, very goofy and ooh if we were locked in a basement for 35 years. I don't know. Me personally, I just don't think I would be all crazy and excited if I was in solitary confinement for that long. On top of that, you'd be killing the mystery element of the movie no matter what, because you'd be looking at all these people. You'd be like, oh, maybe it's Johnny here. Maybe it's maybe it's Samantha. Okay, that's already a character. Damn it. Maybe it's Prudence. You know what? I'm sold. Prudence is the killer. And then bam, third act comes around and it's Stu Macher again. It's like, really? It's not a twist. That's just fan service. You know, that's my issue with it. If somehow you can write in that Stu's a character the whole time and it's a mystery that he's the killer at the end somehow, okay. Like, if you can follow that part of the Scream format, I'm here for it. But that's my issue with it. It's just I don't think there would be much of a mystery. It would kill like one of my favorite parts of these movies. Or maybe the focus of the Stu Macher movie is not the mystery. You know, maybe we lose the mystery and focus on some other elements, but I need to hear what those other elements are. You can't just have a whole movie focused on Stu. That just wouldn't be enough for me. I need more than just a single character to be my calling card for a new film, just in general, not even talking about Scream. But Mr. Rick, listen, I know it would bring so many people a lot of joy if Stu came back. And I want to see Matthew Lillard in more horror movies, and at least that's happening, right? We have Five Nights at Freddy's coming out. We have Matthew Lillard playing the main villain in that too. I say that's a pretty damn good compromise. I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait to see him back in horror in general. That's awesome. So Mr. Rick, for you, I hope they bring Stu back. Just for you, my friend. Thank you for the $5, though. I do really appreciate it. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you. We also have Johnny's Hideout UK throwing in £5 because you're in the UK, I think. Johnny, regardless, I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Bring back the pizza makeup, not the burn victim makeup. I agree. I completely agree with this. Yes. And bring back Freddy's sadistic humor. Robert Englund should do the casting or be consultant. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Robert Englund should be involved at some point at the producer, executive producer level, something. Have some kind of creative influence on it. I 100% agree, yes. I really think they need to do... I really think they need a younger actor, though. Like, I kind of made a point about that. I don't know, man. I'm just... I want Freddy to be silly, because that's what I'm noticing going through the sequels. And I said this in my video today. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Pretty solid. Gave my suggestions who I think should be our next Freddy Krueger. I watched the first one and I love it. Like the first one is a damn near masterpiece. I think it's killer. It's a great horror flick. It's like the quintessential 80s horror movie, I think. It captures a lot of the great stuff about the 80s all in one movie. But the thing about the sequels, and some of this rings true for the first movie, but also not, is that the characters are just not super strong. Like Heather Langenkamp is the exception. I think she's a great final girl, and that's what makes the first movie stand apart from all the other ones. But you move into Nightmare 2, and I just don't feel like the characters are anywhere near as strong as in the first movie, where even in the first movie, some of the side characters I'm not crazy about. If the next movie needs to do anything besides cast a really good Freddy, it's get good characters, get good actors in there. I had somebody on Twitter, Twitty. I was going to say Twitty. That's not right. Twitter. I had somebody on Twitter send me like a response to me posting about my video. And they're like, I had like a pitch for Nightmare on Elm Street as well. And they had like this great cast of characters. Like Tom Atkins was there, Devin Nakata, Noah Schnapp, like just all these like actors that are very familiar that I know would give a good performance. That's what you need for a new Freddy Krueger movie. Like you have Kyle Gallner in the remake, who I don't really remember it all that well. I'm still getting to it in my watching in my little run of watching all of them. I'm still getting through some of them, but I'm just like, man, what I'm noticing about the sequels is like I'm just not crazy about some of the other side characters, and that's another big thing they can improve on moving into just a new requel, remake, whatever. Ashley's talking about Kincaid too. I like Kincaid. He definitely stands out a little more, but I felt like, once again, everyone in Dream Warriors, I feel like could have used more character development and less of the supernatural becoming wizards shit in the third act. But I don't know. That's just me. I really, that's the big thing. That's the big thing I need from a new Nightmare movie too. That's another one, but I love it, man. I love it. Give me Freddy being a silly little fuck and having a great time chopping up some teenagers. That's the big thing. I need that more than anything. The characters can be that can be the cherry on the maraschino cherry right on top of that disgusting meat cake. But Johnny, thank you so much for the support, my friend. I really appreciate you. Let's get a good looking Freddy cast well with some killer characters. James Leclerc is with us tonight. What's up? What's up, James? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Have you heard Bryce Dallas Howard laugh? It's a very interesting question. Have you heard Robert Downey Jr. farts? These are things I want to know. Do you think she could play a female Joker? I'm just ribbing you, man. I'm messing with you. Female Joker, interesting. I mean, we kind of have Harley Quinn already, who like is not exactly the same thing, not exactly the same character, just a love interest. I wouldn't go so far as to say Harley Quinn's the female Joker. I think she'd play a pretty I think she could do that pretty well. Bryce Dallas Howard, I think, is an excellent director. Like, I almost like how, like, I not that I don't like her performances in movies. I've always felt like she was a better director, personally. I'm also not crazy about the Jurassic World movies, and unfortunately, that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think about her and Chris Pratt now, honestly. And that's a shame, because I think both of them have had killer performances in other things. I just don't think the Jurassic World movies are written very well, but that's just old Jake. That's just me. That's just my crazy ass opinion. But she's a great actress, man. I'd love to see her in more things. I've really only seen a few movies with her, but she directed a few episodes of like The Mandalorian. Those are some of my favorite episodes, honestly. Have not seen much of season 3, and I hear I don't really need to watch it. It's what I've heard from Sean, who's also in the chat as well. What's up, Sean? How's it going? Oh no, my egg salad sandwich. Oh, Sean. The inside jokes that we can't tell anybody about. Not yet, at least. Not yet, at least. My God, if we get to film that shit with the egg salad sandwich, I'll lose my mind. I'll be the happiest little fucker on planet Earth. Woo! Let's just say there's a reason I'm wearing this creep show beanie. There you go. That's your hint. That's your hint as to what's coming next. There you go. Sean, enjoy your egg salad sandwich. Don't drop all of them on the ground either. That would really be unfortunate. Some of y'all are like, what? What the fuck? Oh my God. We'll talk about it soon. We'll talk about that soon. Soda is with us tonight. What's up, Soda? How's it going? Smile 2 will be better than Smile 1 if they play the cards right. Soda, I'm curious, did you not like Smile 1? I had a pretty fun time with it. I'll admit it had to grow on me a little bit. First watch, I wasn't like losing my mind about it. I was like, oh, that was fun. Okay. But watching it more and more, I'm like, damn, this is a much better script. I did not appreciate it as much the first time, I really thought. So that was one I had to watch a few times before I really appreciated it. But I really enjoyed Smile. I'm very excited for Smile 2. Really excited to see what they do with it next. But I agree. I think if they play their cards right, the second one can be even better. I'm just curious if you didn't like it or not. I always like hearing different perspectives on things. So always, if you disagree with me, make it known. I want to know. I'm never trying to claim that I'm right about anything. I'm really not. I'm not right about anything. Don't think that. So I want to hear. I'm just curious. Oh, hate Smile. Oh, hell no. Hell yeah. Smile is not that good. Wait, what? What? So you don't hate it, but you didn't think it was that good. Okay, that's so like you're in like the 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 range is basically what you're telling me. Okay, fair enough. That's fair. I gave it a little higher score than that personally, but hey, it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. I'm excited to see what they do for the second one for sure. I'm very excited. Lighting Ghost is throwing $5 in there. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate the support. Thank you. Saying Jamie Campbell Bower from Stranger Things said he found the voice for Vecna by watching Freddy and Pinhead, but thoughts on him as Freddy. Yeah, let's talk about this. I did not put Jamie Campbell Bower in my video today. Only I think he's excellent as Vecna. I've never seen him as anything else. I tried to talk about actors specifically in today's video that I have seen play a role that was both comedic and sinister. Because that's like, those are the two things that I really need from a Freddy Krueger actor. Someone who can be very silly, but also be very scary at the same time. Intimidating, but you're cracking up watching this person rip somebody to shreds, essentially. That was the criteria for today's video, essentially. But I had a lot of great suggestions, this being one of them, Jamie Campbell Bower. I'm genuinely not against this at all. I think he would give a great performance as Freddy Krueger as long as he can, once again, bring the comedy to it, because that's essential. I'm not really for the Scream getting all campy. I think that we can get away from that personally in Scream, because I was talking about this earlier. The concept of Scream is it can be much scarier than it is. I think we can push it down an even scarier route in future movies. With Nightmare on Elm Street, some of my favorite parts of this franchise is how goofy it gets. The humor of it works for me very well, and I feel like if we lose that, we're losing one of the most critical elements to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. So as long as Jamie Campbell Bower can bring that to the role, I'm fucking down for it, 100%. I had someone in the comments section even just tell me, like not even an hour ago, that I guess he's hilarious in some of the behind the scenes videos. I'm gonna do some digging on that. I'm gonna do some digging, watch some of those videos, see if this man can really bring some of the comedy flavor to the role, because I think he's great. I think he's got the look. He kills it as Vecna. I'd be totally down to see it. I'd be totally down to see what he could bring to this role, especially after the Stranger Things performance. And oh my God, I mean, he would sell tickets too. All the Stranger Things fans would be there day one if this character ends up being our next Freddy. So this is a really solid choice. I see why a lot of people want him to be Freddy Krueger. So I'm not against it, but if he plays it straight, I'm not really into any actor playing Freddy Krueger straight. Like, oh God. Okay, that's getting silly. That's getting silly and sexual and moaning and weird shit. Okay. If you play Freddy straight, though, I'm not into it. I guess point to be made. Give me silly Freddy. Give me scary Freddy. Give them to me at the same fucking time. There you go. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. Lighting Ghost, thank you for the $5, my friend. I appreciate it. Jamie Campbell Bower for Freddy Krueger. Let's see it. Jamie, how silly are you? If I ever do an interview with Jamie Campbell Bower, I'm just going to ask him, how silly are you, Jamie? How silly can you be? Just get real intense about it. He's just like, I'm silly. I promise. I'm silly. I'm silly. Smile is not that good. Hit me with a thought though. Hit me with a. You're just saying it's not good. I want to hear why you don't think it's good though, Soda. I want to hear this. I want to talk about it. I want to break it down. I want to step in. Okay. I'm getting too crazy. I want to step inside your head and I want to know why all this crazy shit. I want to know what you're thinking up there. What are the thoughts going through your head while you're watching Smile? What didn't you like? I just want to know. Just curious. I'm a curious little fella. Curious little fella booping around and bopping and stinking up the place. You know what's up. Zom Leader Studios is saying set Smile 2 way in the past as a period piece and you got something good. Sean, you really like period pieces. I can tell that. We talked about another certain franchise, which I won't say, and you want to do a period piece with that, and I love it. It's a great idea. Smile as a period piece is very interesting to me. I think the Smile Demon, it works really well, and I feel like it's inspired by, I don't want to say the Snapchat filter, but like it looks like that so much. You know what I mean? It looks like the Snapchat filter a little bit, and more in Truth or Dare it does, but the idea of smiling and that being scary, I feel like comes a lot from modern horror. So I don't want to say it would be tough, but it just might be out of place as in a period piece for Smile. But I'd see it. I'd still see it, for sure. I don't want Smile. Well, if Smile 2 picks up right where it left off, that might be cool. It stars Kyle Gallner trying to get away from this. Maybe he finds another piece of the puzzle that was missing in the first movie. I guess that's kind of more what I want from Smile 2, but I'm not against new characters either. I'm not against that. I'm not against a prequel, so to say. Either way, that could be really cool. What do y'all think about those theories for 7? A lot of theories for 7, Jerron. A lot of crazy theories out there, man. Oh my God, shit's nuts, man. Y'all are pitching some good stuff though already. I love it. I already love it. Kid Fresh, love it. What's up, Kid Fresh? Saying, have you heard about the new movie Cobweb directed by Samuel Bodine? It looks mad scary. I saw the trailer. It looks pretty cool. I'm thinking about doing some kind of video on it. I'm knocking out some videos that have been on the board for like a month at this point. I just have not gotten around to making my I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot movie video. I'm doing that this week. I'm really gonna do it this week. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I'm actually planning on doing it this week. I might do a big video on Talk to Me as well, but this one I might talk about as well. Cobweb. I saw the trailer for it. Looked pretty fucking sick. Or something. I read an article about it with shit that I skimmed. Okay, truth be told, I skimmed through an article about this, but I'm gonna do a video about it at some point. It looks very interesting. I saw a lot of people talking about it a couple days ago. You were shocked that you didn't have him in the video. I was waiting for it. Yeah, that's kind of why I brought up the point, Barb, about it's got to be someone who I know can be silly and scary at the same time. Those are my big things for Freddy. I think there's a lot of I saw a lot of people thrown out there I'm trying to think like Johnny Depp, Willem Dafoe. I'm trying to think who else was thrown out there. People I know can be very scary, But I'm like, can this person also like lean into the silliness and buy into that role? That's a tougher thing to do than you might think. You know, it's you're not just playing Jason Voorhees where you're running around and you're just cutting people up. You know, it's more than that for Freddy Krueger. It's a much more specific thing to cast, I think. What? Silly Freddy ruined the franchise in the 80s. Time to bring back dark, scary Freddy. He's always been... Robert Englund has always portrayed him very silly, man. That original movie, he's fucking hilarious. He's jumping through glass doors. He's cutting off his fingers. That's goofy as hell, man. I want to see silly Freddy, man. Maybe not Freddy's Dead Freddy. You know, that's really leaning into it. That's realizing that's a movie that's a product of 4 bad movies in a row. Hot take. And it was like, okay, well, we just need to lean into the concept a little more. So Freddy's Dead, I love that movie because it's so silly and ridiculous. I have a really good time with it. But I don't know, man. If Freddy's not a little silly, I don't think I'm gonna even watch it. Which is like, I don't know. That's what I noticed about some of the Nightmare sequels is that they just really lose me when it's just a character focused like sequence. And like there's some movies where you don't even see Freddy until like 40 minutes into it, and I'm just like, come on, let's get this going. Let's get this Freddy train rolling. I miss Freddy already. What's going on? But I guess my point is like I just don't want anyone who can play like a serial killer to play Freddy Krueger. It's got to be someone who has that other edge to it. You know, you got to be able to pretend to cut your fingers off and green goo comes out. You know what I mean? You got to be giving me some quips. You got to be giving me a little bit of this and that. Salt and pepper, not just the salt, I guess is my point. Scary and funny. Yes, Ashley. Which is your favorite Michael Myers? Mine is the supernatural version from Part 6. Ooh. Okay, hell yeah. Part 6 Michael Myers is actually pretty underrated in my opinion. Look, character, like what happens to him. I agree. That's a very underrated choice. I appreciate that. I think the original Michael's probably my favorite from like 1 and 2, like that timeline. I know that technically bleeds into like 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth, but Michael Myers in those first 2 movies, I feel like is unmatched. Like I love, and this is my absolute number 2 runner-up, is Michael Myers in James Jude Courtney, you know, in these new movies. Like he kills it. I think one of the best parts of this new trilogy is Michael Myers. The portrayal, so well done. I really think it's killer, and it's a shame that we missed out on him a lot in Ends. But yeah, I mean, I know it is technically. It's Nick Castle in the first one, and it's Dick Warlock in the second movie. I know it's technically 2 different people, but it feels like a very similar portrayal. 2 definitely gets maybe a little campier, but not by much. Not crazy campier than the first movie, but just a little bit. You know, it's got a little bit of that camp to it. In 2, where it's there in 1 too, but yeah, I don't know, man. Original Michael Myers, that's the shit. That's the shit for me. That's my favorite. Can we just get a goofier Ghostface? But is still. So this is my thing. I guess I'm very picky because when I watch the Nightmare movies, I want them to get goofier. When I watch the Scream movies, I want them to get darker. I don't know. Goofy Ghostface to me doesn't work because it is a man under the mask. You know, it's a person underneath there. Where Freddy Krueger is larger than life in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Freddy Krueger, the whole concept itself lends itself to a sillier tone, lends itself to something that's just a goofier, larger than life kind of situation like that. Where Ghostface, I feel like you could play that straight. You could play Ghostface as something really scary. A person, your best friend putting on a mask trying to kill people. That's fucking scary. You know, that's a scary ass concept. Freddy Krueger doesn't scare me. He makes me laugh more, you know, because of where it came from, how the portrayal of the character has basically always been. I just don't know if it would work serious. I don't know if a serious, like a straightforward, no jokes, dark Nightmare on Elm Street movie, I don't know if that would work, personally. I would check it out if they were like, hey, we're doing Freddy Krueger, but we're losing all the jokes. I'll check it out, you know, but I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know. Just going through these movies again, I'm like, the thing that I like the most is silly Freddy being a goofball. That's when I'm like, oh, I get excited. Okay, oh, this is cool. Setups for like crazy ass kills and shit. I guess that's my favorite part of the Nightmare movies. And maybe if we had some stronger characters, we could talk more about something like that. But like Scream has some really strong characters, and that's why I think the darkness and like the closer to reality vibe for Scream could work, where Nightmare, like I said, really the only super strong character in all those movies that I've watched, at least that I've like kind of rewatched so far, is Heather Langenkamp. So I just don't know if straightforward, serious Nightmare on Elm Street would work unless you had a killer cast and you just changed basically everything. You know, it would be a tough thing to accomplish, I think. Man, these movies are crazy. Like, I'm going through the Nightmare movies and I'm like, I have so many thoughts. Like, I have so many thoughts on what is going on here. This is crazy. Those movies are fucking nuts, though, man. I can't believe some of the choices that were made, especially in 4. Like, 4 is crazy, man. Jerron Boone, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I tend not to do that, so I apologize in advance, my friend. But pitching some crazy Scream 7 theories, let's hear it. The killers for 7, I think, are Stu, Leslie, and Christina, and the cult Ghostfaces, Kirby, Danny, Angelina, or possibly Leslie, and the previous ones were Amber, Richie, Greg, Jason. So you're saying that like the killers for the next movie are basically Leslie Macher and Christina Carpenter, if you don't know, these are characters that are name dropped only like a few times in the past 2 movies. I'm just not crazy about it because it's essentially Roman 2.0. Now, Scream 6 gets a pass because it at least tried to do something new with the Mrs. Loomis motive, and I appreciated it. Instead of just the mom being angry, it's a family who's gaslighting our main final girl. So it's a little more sophisticated. I appreciate that. But if we're gonna go the route of making Christina Carpenter, or just basically any kind of mastermind killer in this next movie, if we're gonna go that route, you gotta find a way to make it very, 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 very different than Roman. If you just say that, Sam's mom wants to kill everybody for some reason because she's upset, I'm gonna roll my eyes at that. I need a little more. I need a little more than just it's the mom. I need a little more than it's the sister of Stu Macher. I don't know. I see, you're throwing Stu in there too, so I'm assuming you got a theory that revolves around Stu being the mastermind and he's working with Leslie and Christina, but once again, that's just Roman, but you're replacing him with Stu. I need more to it than just that. I need, I don't know. If Stu comes back, I feel like his monologue is going to take up like the entire third act, where he's just explaining all the logistics of how he's been able to do all of this and survive the first movie. It's going to be a long monologue. You're going to have to sit back and, okay, everyone pay attention. Let's start taking notes. Let's see what is Stu going to say about all this. It's going to be tough for me. I love the cult of Ghostface though. The cult of Ghostface idea I think is great. I'm totally down for that. Very interesting new angle for Scream to attempt. And could be scary. Is it a bit, hopping on the trend train a little bit? Sure, of course it is. But listen, I'm not against it. I'm not against hopping on the trend train if you got a new way to take it down. That I'm down for. But give me something new. Give me something special. Don't just give me Scream 3 again. You know what I mean? That's my big thing. I love Scream 3. It's great. It's a fun movie. But something else. Something else than just that twist. Like I said, I give Scream 6 a pass because at least they tried to do something different with a familiar motive. I appreciate that, but I need a whole new thing that's just completely unpredictable for Scream 7 at this point with how the past 2 movies have flowed. Honestly, that's really the only big issue I have with Scream 5 and Scream 6 is just, I think the third acts both kind of resort to what the respective original movie kind of did, like literally the Scream 5's third act is in the same house as the first movie. And then the second, Scream 6, I really appreciate it. I love Scream. I really like Scream 6 even more than I like Scream 5. But I think that besides the setting, which is fucking badass, you do admittedly have characters that are essentially just Mrs. Loomis split into 3 people. So I don't know. I wish they did find a new way to spin it. I will give them that. But I just wish they had just done a completely different thing. No characters who are parents. No one who's just trying to get revenge. Whole new motive, because that would have been sick. And I thought that's where they were going with that opening scene too. It's like literally they made a statement to say, "Who gives a fuck about movies?" I'm like, oh shit, we're in for something different here. I was really hanging on there for a bit, but. Man, I wasn't disappointed because, like I said, the whole gaslighting thing was really fucking cool to me. I was like, maybe this is setting up something bigger for the next movie. This is interesting. But if that goes nowhere, man, it's going to be a Halloween Kills situation where I loved the movie when it came out, but if the next movie doesn't do anything with that fucking awesome concept, then I'm just going to look at it as a little lower in my mind. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they do something with the sick concept they're setting up with this cult of, it's not technically Cult of Ghostface yet, but Ghostface is all with the kind of the same agenda who want to continue this movie and give Hollywood better ideas because they're all fucking crazy. If they run with that into Scream 7, I am fucking there, dude. I'm like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen in requel history. So let's see it. Let's make that happen. Holy shit, Barb. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the $20. Thank you for that support. Saying for a while, I couldn't figure out which franchise I loved more between Scream and Halloween. I could sit and rewatch Screams 1 through 6 easily, but there are some installments, the Thorn trilogy, admittedly, that I can easily skip. That said, Scream is my number 1. Halloween's my number 2. Very nice, very nice. Let's dissect this, Barb. Let's talk about this. So, I'll admit Halloween 4 is one that had to grow on me. Halloween 4 was tough the first time because I'm like, a lot of this is kind of just the first movie again, but the more I watched it, the more I really started to fall into some of the characters. The camp of Halloween 4 especially really does it for me, but I pretty much agree with you with Halloween 5. That movie's next to unwatchable in my opinion. But Curse I think alone is not great, but if you watch the producer's cut, I recommend that. I recommend the producer's cut. I feel like it fixes a lot of the problems with it. I don't even want to say what that is necessarily, but watch the producer's cut and then tell me what you think of that. Because I'm like, okay, this is definitely better. It's not, I'm not saying it's the best Halloween movie, not by any means, but it's definitely an improvement, I think. But how do you feel about, okay, hang on. How do you feel about Resurrection? I'm really curious. People have some hot takes on Resurrection nowadays, and I love it. I love that this movie that is widely panned has some love for it. I love that shit. That is my, I love reading that. I love when you get a totally different perspective on something that you've just kind of like signed off as being this one thing. You're like Nightmare 2010, like I saw Sarah putting stuff in there about, how it's like, Nightmare 2010 is actually not that bad. It gets a bad rap. And Sarah, I'm really starting to agree with you after watching some of these other Nightmare flicks. I'm like, man, maybe that actually wasn't that bad because I don't think anything could be worse than Nightmare 4. Nightmare 4 was a slog, dude. That was really, really tough. Okay, Barb, you liked Resurrection. It's unnecessarily hated. You know what? I need to watch this movie again because I've seen a lot of people who are like, dude, listen, Halloween Resurrection, maybe it doesn't get everything right, but some aspects to it are fun. That's what I've heard through the grapevine. I've only watched it once. Halloween Resurrection was like a wow, this is crazy, but I really need to. I gotta watch Resurrection again. I'll give it another chance. Once fall rolls around, I'm gonna be rewatching all the Halloween movies. But Nightmare is my summer obsession. I've decided. And I got to get through all the Insidious movies too soon. Okay, but back on track. Sorry. Scream. Here's the one thing I will say about, I think the strongest element to the Scream franchise is that it's so consistent. It's like the most consistent horror franchise out there, I think, besides Evil Dead. Those two, that's 1 and 2 right there, in my opinion. For as far as consistency goes, there's so much to pull from both of those movies. I've been talking about Scream for nearly 3 years on this channel. And I still feel like I have things to say. I don't feel like I've run out of things to say. There's just hasn't been a whole lot of news about it lately. So I've been shifting topics. I've talked a lot about Scream in the past 3 years. So I'm like, okay, let's get off this topic for a little bit. Let's talk about some other things. So I've been kind of focusing on some Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. I'm gonna do some more Halloween stuff too. Come this fall, but. Scream is just wonderful. I think it's just an amazing franchise. There's so much you can do with it. It's so. I don't know, man. It's incredible. I think it's just a wonderful franchise. I can't wait to be talking about it for many, many, many more years down the line. And I have a video on the board right now, which I won't show you because it's a surprise. But it's going to cost me some money. That's what I'm going to say. But it's basically going to disprove a gigantic plot hole let's say that, about the Scream franchise that people have an issue with. And I'm so excited to do that, but I got to save up a little bit before I make it. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. But we'll be talking more about Scream soon. I'm going to try to at least put out a theory video every week until we really start to get some news. That'll probably be a few months down the line still, but we'll see. We'll certainly see. Barb, thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate it. I'm going to give a Resurrection another chance just for you because really curious if that holds up at all. So I'm curious. Am I going to drop a CRT TV on my head? No, it does not involve. Well, does it involve me somewhat? Well, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. It's going to be a very physical video for me. It's not going to be here. We're gonna have to film it somewhere else. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, the CRT TV, no, I would not drop that on my head because it would crush my head. I have picked up one of those things before, so I don't know, man. We did a whole video on this like a long time ago about how if you dropped a CRT, like there's apparently a report about a baby getting hit with, like, this is a real thing, unfortunately. A baby got hit with like a CRT TV apparently at one point, and that it survived. This is fucked up, but I genuinely don't know how that's possible. Like, if you're someone who's younger out there who did not grow up with a CRT television like myself, like those things are like 50 to 70 pounds depending on what you're working with. Like those things are fucking tough, man. There's no way that wouldn't crack my skull. I don't think. And I'm not really gonna test it. I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling like testing that out. I like my skull in the position that it is and where my brain is currently. So we're gonna keep this all good here. My head is pretty big though. I guess I could, kind of shrink it down a little bit. Red-faced demon won't kill the Lambert family in Insidious: The Red Door. But you also don't want the red-faced demon to. But you want the red-faced demon to live too. So I don't know. There is no making you happy, Mario and Sonic fan. What do you want? What do you want from this movie? I'm curious. That's funny. The movies that used to scare me the most are Paranormal Activity movies. Ooh, I would hear a noise at home and freak out. Ashley, those scared the fuck out of me when I was younger. That was our go-to. Like, Insidious and Paranormal Activity was our go-to when we were all a bunch of kids growing up, watching crazy-ass scary movies, like, very late at night. If it was like a sleepover or whatever, this was our go-to. And man, I think that's why I fell in love with both of those. They're just so nostalgic for me. We watched them so many times. I've seen Paranormal Activity 4 more than maybe any movie I've watched. Like that's we watched that movie so many times, me and some old buddies, but I love them. I think they're fun. They're like, I don't know if I'll watch them like 100 more times in my lifetime or anything like that, but they're fun movies, man. They got some fun jump scares. I don't know. I like them. And Insidious especially are the ones that I have a big calling for. I just think that it's like a monster movie mixed with Paranormal Activity. It's just great. It's a wonderful blend and definitely has a similar vibe to Nightmare on Elm Street too. There you go. Definitely has a similar like formula and format, so. Midnight TV. I don't have to scroll up that much. Good. Okay, well, I caught this one relatively sooner. Love it. Okay, well, I'm scrolling. I'm still scrolling. Midnight TV. Where's your message, you silly guy? You? I'm not seeing it, my friend. Oh shit. I'm genuinely not seeing it. I'm so sorry, Midnight TV. I'm scrolling almost to the beginning of the stream at this point. I must have passed it. You know what? I'm so sorry, my friend. If you put it in there again, I will check it out. Dragon Ball Radiant is saying, I think they should reboot A Nightmare on Elm Street like they did Candyman. To me, that would absolutely work. So kind of like the idea of like there's a bunch of them. Like there's a bunch of dream demons out there, and this is a new one. So that's tough because I think that the concept behind Candyman 2021 was awesome. I don't know if it was necessarily executed the best way. I really do like that film. I think it's underrated. It doesn't get talked about enough. The cinematography and score are some really bold choices when it comes to Candyman because like listen, talking about the most iconic scores to horror movies, I think without a doubt Philip Glass's soundtrack for the original Candyman is up there somewhere. I think it's excellent. It's iconic. You hear it and I just immediately I'm put in that movie again. It's done so well. I love it. So for the requel, instead of what basically every other requel does and use like sounds from the original movie for nostalgia, they said, fuck that. We're getting some ominous, scary, like creepy ass music. And I respect the fuck out of Candyman 2021 for that decision. I was like, wow, that's like making a Halloween movie and not using the score. Halloween 2. There you go. That's why I respect Halloween 2 so much. That movie's pretty bold for doing what it did. Same thing with Candyman 2021. I thought that was pretty cool. And also not to have your titular slasher technically not in it. Technically, he's at the end for 2 seconds, but I'm not spoiling anything, trust me. It's tough because I love Tony Todd. Like, I think that Tony Todd is just so underutilized. I don't know why he's not in 100 more horror films, honestly. I think he's got such a scary voice. I wish I could replicate that. It's incredible. It's done so well. I liked Candyman. It did, but it kind of fell apart a little bit in the third act. It needed more Tony Todd. I think where I find an issue with Candyman 2021 is that you introduce the idea of having multiple Candymen, and then you only focus on like really one more guy. You know, there was like the other character too, who's part of the story, who's like a Candyman technically, but it's really just about one character becoming that. You know what I mean? And I wish it had focused a little more on everybody. You know what I mean? Like all of the Candymen a little more, opposed to just one new character. It's almost like just it would almost be like having Scream 5 just be focused on Sam Carpenter. That might have come across as like almost distasteful to some people who really wanted to see the legacy characters again. So I don't know. To me, I wish they would have focused a little more on that. I'm not against this idea of having multiple dream demons. You just got to execute it correctly. You got to have, like, if you're going to do that too, you got to have Robert do a cameo. Come on. You know, he'll do a cameo if that's the case. And that actually might be what they do. You know, Robert Englund has said he'd love to do a cameo in A New Nightmare. He just doesn't want to play Freddy Krueger basically for a whole movie. So I'm not against this at all, Dragon Ball Radiant. This is a pretty damn good idea. You just gotta execute it correctly. I think Candyman 2021 comes damn near close, but it just not enough Tony, not enough Todd in my salsa here. Gotta mix that shit up a little more, I guess is my point. Not enough tomatoes in my salsa. But you're onto something there, Dragon Ball Radiant. You got a really good point there. Oh, yes. Barb, without a doubt. Tony Todd makes the Final Destination movies that he's in. He makes them. He's such a good little flavor with all of his creepy ass scenes where he definitely knows a little more than what he's leading on, and I really like that about his character in those movies. So intriguing, so well done. I would like to be a horror filmmaker when I grow up. I want to say thank you for being a good influence. Of course, Red Right Hand was so good. Thank you so much, my friend. Do you have any advice on like for making a horror film? My best advice, Mr. Fazbear, is like write what you want to see in a movie. Like don't overthink it. Don't. Like, listen, it may not be the best thing that's ever been written or put to the page, but just write what you want to see in a horror flick. Get that down on paper, then work it out. Make it make a little more sense. Try to find things that maybe are like a weak point and try to improve that. You know what I mean? Don't just... back in the day when I was much younger, I would just write things and be like, okay, it's done. That's it. You know, and that's what's called a first draft. It's what I learned later on. You get that. You get your crazy idea down on paper. Get that. Okay, cool. Now... analyze it. Get down to the details. Get down to the dirty shit. Find out what's working, what's not working. Have other people read it. You know, that kind of shit. And and here's the other thing. Best advice I can give you is have 5 people read your script when you think it's done. And if all 5 of them or most of them unanimously agree that one thing doesn't work, take that out because it won't work with the majority of other people either. So gotta kill your darlings too. That's a tough thing to do. Trust me. I had to kill a darling for this script we're working on right now, and I was really sad about it. I was really like, damn, that was like my favorite scene in all of this, and we had to cut it out. But sometimes that's what you got to do because sometimes it doesn't work. It was 4 to 1 in the room. We were all talking about it, and we're like, this just doesn't work. And I'm like, I think it does, though. And everyone else was like, no, it doesn't, Jake. you stinky kid. That's what they called me, too. They called me stinky. I showered that day, too. Okay, tangent's over. Sarah Campbell, thank you so much for the 550. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, my friend. Saying, have you seen The Fourth Kind? It's one of my favorite horror movies. I feel like nobody talks about it. The Fourth Kind, I don't believe I have. That's a shame. That's a shame. I gotta watch these movies. Sarah, by the way, is always recommending very, very good movies. And I'm noticing thousands of horror movies a lot of the time, too. It's a sci-fi thriller, so basically one of my favorite horror genres. Love it. And it stars Mila Jovovich. And Will Patton's in it, too. I'm fucking here for this. This is awesome. The Fourth Kind. Since the 1960s, a disproportionate number of the population in and around Nome, Alaska has gone missing. Despite FBI investigations, the disappearances remain a mystery. Dr. Abigail Tyler, Mila Jovovich, A psychologist may be on the verge of blowing the unsolved cases wide open when, during the course of treating her patients, she finds evidence of alien abductions. Okay. I'm interested. I'm here for it. Very interesting. I need to check this one out. I love alien movies. I feel like there's not enough good alien movies too. There's a few out there, but not too many that are really like blow your mind crazy. Aliens are a really scary concept. I feel like we can do more with that personally. I'll have to check this out because once again, I'm constantly on the search for great alien movies. Nope is absolute. Infinite Sky. I see you, Infinite Sky. Nope is absolutely a new one to add to that plate for sure. 100%. I think that's why I really liked that one so much, for that reason. But hell yes, Sarah. I'm gonna check this out because I need more good alien movies in my life. The Dark Skies was another one that I feel like is underrated, doesn't get talked about enough. I really like Dark Skies. What's the one about fire in the sky or whatever the fuck that movie? That one's really great too. Lots of good alien. There is a lot of good. Well, there's a few blow your mind alien movies. Hopefully this is another one. Sarah, thank you so much for the suggestion. I'm going to write it down right now. I'm going to try to check it out if I can find it. The Fourth Kind. I still have to watch. Sarah had some other good suggestions for movies the other day, and I guess I still got to watch those. I don't even have time to get through the Nightmare franchise. That's how crazy things have been on my end. So I have like 100. I gotta just spend a day watching movies essentially. Like that. Then I can maybe maybe I can catch up that way. But Sarah, again, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Fallon Vamp. I like the name. I like the name a lot. That's very cool. Thank you for the $2, my friend. I appreciate that. And thank you for being a KillJoy cult member. Thank you. Hey, Jake, going to any conventions? I sure am, my friend. I am. I'm going to Scarefest in Kentucky in October. Very excited for that. I can't remember who's going to that off the top of my head, but I will be there. It's a very far drive for me, but I don't give a shit. I want to go to more horror conventions because I don't get out to enough of them. Went to Horror Hound earlier this year, and my God, was that fucking fun. So I gotta go to more of these things, essentially, is the point to be made. So I'm going to Scarefest in Kentucky. I'm gonna try to get out to more of them if I can. I'm in Ohio. I'm in the Cleveland area at the moment, so I'm trying to find ones that are closer to me. I went to Monster Mania in New Jersey last year, and that was a crazy-ass drive, but it was fun. Really good time, but yeah, so anything near the Ohio area, if it's in Kentucky, Indiana, I can absolutely spin it. West Coast stuff is going to be maybe not right now, but at some point in the future, for sure. I want to start making more of a convention presence, I guess. It's just so much fun. Like, oh my God, they're a blast every single time. So I will absolutely be coming out to more of them for sure, Fallon Vamp. Thank you so much for the $2, my friend. Hopefully I'll see you in Kentucky when that rolls around. So a couple more months and we're doing that. A horror convention during the spookiest month of the year. Could it get better? I think not. Sarah Campbell's throwing 220 in there again. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. That description was bland. It was a little bland. I'll give you that. But the movie is terrifying. Hell yes. Listen, I can't get enough Mila Jovovich, okay? It's the only reason I watch those Resident Evil movies. All right? I'm just going to say that. I think she's incredible. And smoking hot, but that's despite the point. Yes, I'm going to check that out, Sarah, though. That's awesome. Let's check this shit out. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I'm really excited to watch it, though, Sarah. Thank you so much for the 220. I appreciate that. Fourth Kind. That's Sarah's recommendation of the day, and Sarah gives some great recommendations. She told me to watch the movie Frailty, and I'm in love. Like, I think that movie is fucking incredible. That's a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, if we're going by some crazy critic scores and shit. Killer movie. Highly recommend Frailty. It's a masterpiece. Killer movie. John Carpenter's The Thing is the best alien movie. That is technically an alien movie. Hell yeah. Great killer movie, man. It's so scary. I love the concept of aliens being spun in a different direction too. Like they're gonna consume you and turn into you instead of just being gray little fuckers running around and putting things up your butt. No. The Thing's something a little different. I like that. Sarah does give great recommendations. Yes, she does. Save Robbie's with us. What's up, Robbie? How's it going? Welcome. The Thing is better than Friday the 13th. Most things are better than Friday the 13th. Hot take. I'm not crazy about that first one. And maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe. Love The Thing. The Thing's so good. Oh, I mean, listen. As far as we were talking about quintessential 80s horror, and I think Nightmare and The Thing are like, those might be, that might be 1 and 2, in my opinion. Shit. That captures a lot of the things I love about the 80s. I think Return of the Living Dead is one that doesn't get talked about enough. Return of the Living Dead is a classic, in my opinion. I think that's a damn near masterpiece. Right when horror was starting to get more self-referential, that one is definitely a little meta. You know, it's got a little bit of jokes, a little bit of commentary on the zombie movies from the time. I think that's pretty cool. Such a funny movie too. Oh my god. I mean, just a fun film overall. Michael Chin throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you. Saying Scream prequel thoughts. Ho ho ho. Ho ho. Oh, do I have some thoughts? I would love this, but the only thing that I think would be more difficult to cast than our new Freddy Krueger is going to be a Scream prequel. You got to get some dudes who look exactly like Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, and they pretty much have to be the stars of it. I mean, without a doubt. Like, you got to do that. You could tell that story, and you could do that. That could be your Scream prequel. That's what we typically talk about on here. But something else I was thinking about recently is, what if there was more characters at Woodsboro High during the time? And you could tell a story where you, instead of trying to cast a Billy Loomis and Stu Macher lookalike who may or may not give a good performance, maybe you're just casting them based on looks. Okay, hang on. Let's just, we've talked about that. We've talked about that before on different live streams. Put that aside for a moment. What if we told a story about certain characters at Woodsboro, Ohio, maybe we've never met before, maybe Christina Carpenter, for instance, who start getting attacked by, someone in a Ghostface mask, maybe all at the same time, and maybe there's no remnants of Ghostface at all at the crime scene. You know what I mean? No parents to see what was going on, nothing, no reports of a killer or anything, just one big massacre that's unexplained. And that never gets connected to Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, but it was a part of them all along. They were covering up their secrets. Maybe Christina snitched to someone else out there. Here's how you work in Christina Carpenter into a story. There you go. If you really want to make that happen. I say do a prequel that's set in like in the late 90s at some point, and it's about Billy and Stu covering their tracks. They fucked up. They told somebody about their plan in between the events of like Maureen Prescott's death and the events of the original Scream. You could do something like that. You never have to show anybody's face, but you could show somebody in a Ghostface mask who is essentially Stu Macher or Billy Loomis. You just never really get to hear them. Well, you get to hear them talk, but just never taking off the mask. That might be fun. That could be actually something really cool. It would have to add to the story if you're going to do a prequel in some capacity, but instead of doing it from the killer's perspective, you could do that too. But me personally, I lean towards the killer perspective thing. That's something I do really want to see. But Michael, thank you so much for the $2, my friend. I'm into it. I'm down for a Scream prequel. Just casting's gonna be tough. Gonna have to spend some long months doing that. Like you ever see those pictures of like Bill Skarsgård up against like Tim Curry when he was young, and they look like exactly the fucking same? Like they're like the same person essentially. It's crazy. You got to find that, and that's gonna be tough. That's not gonna be any easy casting by any means. The Thing is basically an Among Us movie, but is that a bad thing? It came out before the sus memes were a thing, though, so that also aids the film, I think. Antonio is saying, you're going to play the new Texas Chainsaw on your gaming channel. Looks sick as fuck. So, Antonio, first of all, thank you so much for being a KillJoy cult member. I appreciate that big time. But here's what's up. So, old Jake has been consulted recently. We had some talks with my constituents, and I'm not just talking about my buddies, about what to do with the second channel. And like my buddies actually had to have an intervention with me. Like, got on the phone with my friend, and they're like, dude, like, I get you're trying to do the gaming channel thing. I love that, respect it. But dude, you got 125,000 views on a Justin Roiland video. You gotta keep doing that. And I'm like, you're right. I'm like, I was trying to get away from it, and I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I got some comments on that video that like actually disgusted me. Like, it wasn't even, I didn't even care. Some of the shit was directed towards me. I didn't even give a shit about that. It was just like the most heinous comments I've seen from people, from human beings ever. And I was just like, I just can't do this. I just can't fucking make content where comments like that are coming. That's just crazy to me. And my buddies were like, dude, you gotta keep making those videos. And I really do like Rick and Morty. I do. I don't like Justin Roiland because of all that shit. But I think the point being, gaming channel, I think, is going back to what Movie Smoothie was, where it's, you know, talking about like Rick and Morty and animation and stuff. I seem to have figured something out with that, I guess. I don't know. But I'm going to keep doing that. But what I will say is the gaming stuff is not anywhere near done. I'm going to keep streaming horror games on here selectively. It's going to be like the bracket streams, where it's like a once a month thing. It'll be on Wednesdays as usual, but it'll be on this page. And we will absolutely be streaming the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game when it comes out in August. So there will still be gaming. It's just going to be on this page, I think. I'm just not going to have it be a focus. It's just going to be a special little, like, once in a while kind of thing that we do every now and then, probably to promote the new TCM game. But yeah, the gaming channel is just going back to what it was, man. I'm just like, my buddies are right. I gotta commit to this if I'm gonna make the YouTube thing happen. So we're running 2 channels, and they're both gonna be movie update pages. I wanted to try something else, but fuck it. Here's what we're doing. I have not seen the new Puss in Boots yet, Logan. I hear it's phenomenal. John Mulaney, one of my favorite comics, is the villain, apparently, so I really got to see it. I love the Shrek movies. I've literally seen like every other one except for that. So at some point, I'm seeing it. At some point, I'm going to check it out. It's on Paramount Plus too. I gotta watch that before I lose that subscription. I canceled all my streaming services recently too, so that's another thing. Why did you suspect Danny Brackett as being Ghostface? Because he was so suspicious. I really thought, I was sold he was our killer. So first of all, right there with the name, Danny Brackett. So he has the name of a Ghostface killer from the video games, Danny, and then the last name being a Halloween thing, which is the same thing they did with Billy Loomis back in the original movie. Loomis, Dr. Loomis, Annie Brackett, Danny Brackett. It even fucking rhymes. I was like, dude, if he's not Ghostface, they're going to be pulling the wool over my eyes. And they did. I was pretty sold on him being our killer the whole time. I really thought it was the cop and Danny. Like, the whole movie, I'm like, it's definitely the detective. It's definitely Detective Kirsch, I guess. Wayne Bailey. I'm like, it's absolutely him. But, and then I was like, and it's Danny Brackett. I'm like, those are the 2 killers. That's what's gonna happen. But then I was starting to realize, man, I'm like, okay, yeah. I think that was a fake death. I think they just did a fake out on us. So that was my big thing. I was like, it's got to be him. That really sold me. I was like, oh, they're doing the same thing as what they've done in the past. You know, I know what's going on. I see what you're doing. But they didn't make him the killer, and I don't think they will at this point. And if they do, I think it would almost kind of suck, because the whole, like, I've seen people talk about this on like Twitter and different places around the internet, where they're saying, like, if they make Danny the killer at this point, it's a little predictable. He's the love interest. He was super nice in Scream 6. If they make him the killer, I don't know. I'm not really for that at this point, now that I've gotten to know him. But prior to Scream 6, I thought he was the killer because I didn't really get to know him. First time watching that movie, I still suspected him, but after watching it a few more times, I'm like, if he was the killer, it probably would have been a little out of place. But you could have chalked all the niceness and the understanding all of the bullshit to he was acting too. You could chalk it up to that. But I don't know. Me personally, I don't know why Danny Brackett survived the movie. Honestly, I felt like his character was a little pointless to the story. They kind of made him a red herring a little bit during and after Gale's kill, because he was the only person in the area. Someone points that out at one point. I don't know. Me personally, I kind of just want to. I think he should just die. He should be the opening kill. He should be our Cotton Weary essentially in the next movie. That would be pretty emotional too. You know, be really sad for Sam. But that's just my thoughts. Detective Bailey had to have been obvious on purpose. He was way too obvious, man. I mean, the moment that he's like, you mess with my family, you die. I'm like, it's him. Okay. Cool. Got it. They made him a little too obvious, in my opinion. But they were trying to do something else with it. It wasn't about who the killers were. It was more about how many of them they were, and how the twist is something different than what you've seen from the past, which kind of the same thing. But like I said, I give it props for trying something different, but it's not necessarily wasn't exactly the most mysterious thing. I get why there was a lot of people who were upset with the ending to Scream 6. My other thing about Scream 6 is the fact that the mystery is admittedly the most lame probably of all 6 movies. That really affected everyone's score of Scream 6, I noticed. Like, I see a lot of people who say, like, oh man, Scream 6 sucks because of the killer reveal. And I'm like, the killer reveal ruined the movie for you. I don't know if I can agree with that. Like, I think there's just so many other factors that are great about Scream besides just that. Like, I don't know. I'm almost not even looking for that anymore in the Scream sequels to have the wool pulled over my eyes. They're never going to do it better than Billy Loomis and Jill from part 4. Like, those are the best mysteries by far in the series. And I just don't think I guess I'm just not looking for that anymore. It's the nuance of the franchise that I love. That's what I'm invested in the most. How we can spin things differently versus what we've already seen. And the mystery is something I've learned to accept that the mystery of a Scream movie at this point is just going to be something that we've already seen. I'm going to keep pitching my ideas about how there's 100 more motives that a Ghostface killer can have. But hey, we'll just see. We'll just see if they decide to do that or not, or if they just do Roman 2.0 in Scream 7. We'll just have to see. Danny Johnson from Dead by Daylight is the best Ghostface, you have to admit. Yeah. Dude, you do a little bit of research on the Dead by Daylight Ghostface, and it's like, this is the coolest Ghostface by far. Like, why have they never adapted something like this? This is so fucking awesome. And it's a shame. I really wish they would do a Danny Johnson type of character, try to incorporate him into the Scream mythos where he technically exists outside of that. I don't know. Dragon Ball Radiant, I couldn't tell you why they haven't done something like that. I think Danny Johnson's the most badass Ghostface without a doubt. Like, if he was in the movies, he would be my number one. Like, put it that way. Mr. Fazbear is saying if they make another Friday movie, they should keep everything from the first 4 and then make a direct sequel to those 4. Oh, see, that's one of the reasons why we don't get a whole lot of movies that are like requels, though, because you gotta watch 4 movies before you see this new one. That's why we're naming movies like just Scream or just Halloween instead of, Halloween 13 or Scream 6. We called it Scream 6, but no one really gave a shit with Scream because those are all kind of, it is one big story technically, but you can just kind of watch whatever one and basically get the gist of it. Friday the 13th, same thing works, but I don't think is there really the best story running through the first 4 Friday movies? I'm once again, I feel very differently about every franchise. I've been very open about that, about certain directions that certain franchises should take. Every franchise has a different quality about it that makes it something special. And Friday, to me, the thing that makes it special is the music, the setting, the killer, and, well, that's about it. I just want to see Jason Voorhees making his little noises about killing for mother and chopping people up in various different ways. I don't think we need any elaborate story running through a Friday movie personally, but that's just my opinion. Some people would love to see it get taken down a more extreme and sophisticated route. I don't think not everything needs to be an A24 movie. Not everything needs to be this, not everything needs to have social commentary. Me personally, I love when a movie has something to say. I think it is really thought-provoking, but there's other ways to inspire thoughts in someone's head. You know what I mean? Like the Nightmare movies, for instance, are constantly making me wonder why these characters are not more well-written and why there's not more Freddy Krueger in this film. That's not a good thing. Hopefully a new Friday film can make me think about character decisions. Like, why would this person do that? And I love shit like that. I love when you get to talk about like this character did this instead of that, and now that's why they got killed. I love that shit about slashers. That's why I can talk about this shit all day long. Hopefully we see that in Friday the 13th. We'll just have to see, though. Michael Chin's throwing another $2 in there. Michael, thank you so much for the support, my friend. Saying Scream 3 is extremely underrated. I think it is quite underrated. I think it is. I think that it gets shit on a lot for, it's not really scary, and that's kind of the point. It's not trying to be scary, and that's okay. Horror movies don't always have to be scary, I talked about in my video today about how, like, I cut this out. Now that I actually cut this. I had a whole tangent in my Freddy video today where I compared that to like the Insidious flicks about how it didn't really work with the overall topic, so that's why I cut it out. But like, if you compare Insidious and Nightmare on Elm Street, they're very similar movies, right? Like, they're very similar ideas, but one is trying to scare the fuck out of you, and one is trying to make you crack up about this goofball running around and slicing people up. I love that. Essentially, they're similar concepts. You know, it's demons from your dreams that are fucking with you in real life. That's essentially all it boils down to, but very different tones, like crazy different. Scream 3 is very different from its predecessor. Well, very different from the first movie specifically, and it's not trying to scare you, it's trying to make you laugh with the concept, and it's very goofy and fun. And it's absolutely a comfort movie, Sarah. Totally agree with that. Very much so, just a fun, laid-back, easy watch. It's nothing super complicated. It's just a fun time. I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 because it has 100 plot holes, but I think it's still a fun time regardless. I love it. A lot of people have said it's the best movie with Sidney Prescott. I don't know about that, but I do really like it. I do really enjoy it, and it's a fun one. It's a situation like Army of Darkness, right? Like, Army of Darkness is definitely at the bottom of my Evil Dead ranking, but if people talk shit about it, like, I lose my mind. I'm like, dude, Army of Darkness is a masterpiece. What are you talking about? I feel the same way about Scream 3. It's not like, okay, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a masterpiece, but it's a really fun movie, and I love it. And it's fun for what it is. I don't think we need another one, though. That's my big thing. That's why I'm ever so slightly worried about Scream 7, that there's a possibility that they may copy the vibe and tone from Scream 3, which I really don't think would work. Personally, like, maybe if they send it down the route of, like, giving it to Christopher Landon and he makes, like, a Happy Death Day style kind of thing where it has the Scream 3 humor and jokes, but you also have that emotional edge to it, which I would just argue Scream 3 personally does not have. A lot of people love Sidney Prescott's story in that movie. I just think it's really cheesy. It's good, but it's really cheesy. You know, it's fun for what it is. But I think today, if you're going to put out a movie like Scream 3, you have to have a Tree Geldman who is like just a really strong protagonist with a really emotional story. Like, I'm almost in fucking tears during certain moments of Happy Death Day because, like, it's such a goofy movie, but then it has these, like, moments where you just want to fucking cry. And Scream 3 is just it's a goof fest. It's a funny, silly time where Ghostface is running around and spatial logic is out the window, and apparently Sidney had 2 guns. It's a silly movie. It's a fun time. I love it for what it is. But I think if they're gonna make something like Scream 3 nowadays, you got to have that emotional edge, or I don't think I'd be into it. I like Scream 3 for what it is. It's a crazy little thing that happened. I don't know if we need another one. Unless Christopher Landon does it, because then he would apply all the good to it, essentially, that I've been talking about for like 5 minutes now. Michael, thank you for the $2, though. I really appreciate it. Scream 3 is underrated. I think it gets too much hate. It's not. I don't think it's a shitty movie by any means. It's a fun one. Legion's throwing $2 in there. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Saying, have you seen The Blackening? I have not seen it. I was gonna catch it last night. I was exhausted. I said earlier, I've been landscaping all weekend. We're putting in a patio in a hot tub right now, and it's a lot of fucking work. We're trying to do it the cheap way, and that means doing it ourselves. So that's how crazy all of us are. But I'm gonna check this out at some point. I don't know if I'll do a review of it. If I really like it, I'll do a review of it. I'll tell you that much. But I really only do reviews of movies if I feel very strongly one way or the other about them. Or if I feel very strongly in the middle about them too. You know, I'm not that predictable, but I'll check it out. I will check it out. It looks really goofy, like a silly horror comedy, so I'll watch it, see it sometime this week, and maybe I might do a review. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But at some point I'll check it out. Ashley said it was really fun earlier in the stream, so I'll have to see it for myself. Tell you what I think. So Legion, thank you so much for the $2, though. I do really appreciate it. I'm gonna see that one just for you and Ashley and all the other wonderful folks out in the chat who may or may not want a review of that. I don't know. Sarah Campbell's also saying, if you want the shirt Jake is wearing, you can get it at the merch store right now. You can get yourself a directed by a Wes Carpenter. Wes Carpenter, there we go. Didn't cut out the S that time. You can get that at the merch store right now. We have that with a little companion piece, too, that you might be interested in, that are completely gone from my little thing here. What's going on with that? 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we have some new shirt designs. If you buy them, it greatly supports the channel, because old Jake doesn't make a whole lot from all this, so it would really help. But we got the Wes Carpenter shirt. We have a little companion piece with this, which is written by John Craven in the Halloween font too, which I think is fun. And it's Pride Month, too, so let's celebrate with some Pride Ghostface masks and a little Pride Ghostface logo, or Jake logo. KillJoy, I don't even know my own fucking logo. There it is, in a little rainbow circle. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cute? So go ahead, celebrate Pride Month with me, and also get a shirt that's also on my sweaty back right now. So there you go. Check it out. Yes, the link for that is in the description of the stream or any of my videos that I post, the Teespring link. If you can't find it there either, it's also on my little store tab on my YouTube channel. So check it out. All right, done with the shameless plug. Back to the horror talk. Morning Dew is joining us. What's up, Morning Dew? How's it going? Love the Grateful Dead, man. I know I said it last time, but I still love it. What's up? What's up? What's up, Shay? How's it going, man? How's it hanging? How's it hanging? Hey, Jake, thanks for streaming twice a week. I'm currently studying for my mock exams at 120. Ooh, very nice. Sub to GULLGOTHA, by the way, just a reminder. Thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate that. I hope all the studying goes well for you, my friend. Yes, I sent you a reply to your email as well, Shay. So good stuff, good stuff. Hope everything is going good on your end. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. Appreciate it. Dragon Ball Radiant is asking, do you think Final Destination 6 is doomed to fail? Doomed! You're all doomed! If they stick with the same idea without changing anything. Yeah, if they don't change anything, yeah, if they just do the same old, what I will say about Final Destination, though, I really do love how they structure at least the first half of their movies. Like, I love the showcase of a crazy death sequence right from the get-go. That's great, in my opinion. I hope they don't lose that. Because I think that's just so much fun. I hope we get a big showcase of kills right at the beginning. It's like doing a Scream movie without an opening scene. You know what I mean? Like, there are some things that you don't need to change. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. There's some things I like to tweak and twist around with all the time. You guys hear me talk about that all the fucking time. But some things don't fix it if it ain't broke. And one of those things is a killer opening scene in the Final Destination movies. But to me, as long as they have a good cast, great kills, lay off the CGI a little bit, I think it ought to be a fun time. I think it ought to be good. In my opinion, too, Final Destination 5 is probably my favorite in the whole franchise. I think it's a killer flick. It's got one of the best twist endings in maybe all of movies. Not number one. I don't think number one twist, but I would say it's on my top 10 list of like best twists I've ever seen. It blew my fucking mind the first time I saw it. I saw it with no context too. Like, I had no idea a twist was coming. I shouldn't even be talking about it. That's how good of a twist it is. See that movie. Watch that movie if you've never seen it. Just watch it. Watch all 5 of those movies in order. Get to 5. Make your way to 5. That's what I'd recommend. Fuck. So, I don't know, man. Me personally, we left off on the best movie in the whole franchise. Will not Scream 6. Will Final Destination 6 be just as good, if not better? I don't know. We'll have to see, man. But I love that twist. It kicked my ass when I first saw it. Hopefully they can do something else like that. Will they ever be able to come close to that? I don't know. That's the Scream 4 of the Final Destination franchise, I think. I fucking love it. Ugh. Oh, so good. Killer movie. Legion throwing $5 in there. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. You always get a laugh when Ben Tramer dies. Oh my God, that shit's so funny, man. He's not even, it's not even the same mask. You can see it from far away. It's some blonde ass hair and he still gets ran over. That's crazy that's Ben Tramer too. Like, it's like a couple throwaway lines in the first movie and then they recycle that for 2. I love that. I love that. I love how they connect all these crazy things together. But that's it's so funny. It's such a ridiculous scene in 2. That's what I was talking about earlier when we were saying that 2 gets even campier than the first one. The explosion sequence where someone vaguely dressed like Michael Myers gets ran over by a cop car. Yeah, that camp. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's so funny. But dude, it cracks me up, man. Listen, we're all horror fans. We all laugh at some fucked up shit. It's okay. It's all right to laugh a little bit at that crazy shit, man. That's why we're here. That's why we're joking around. It's why we have these little community spots to laugh at the crazy shit that has been made into movies. And I love it. It's great. It's a good time. It's awesome. I can't wait for Terrifier 3, speaking of laughing. Holy shit. Legion, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Halloween 1 and 2 will always have a very special place in my heart. I just think they're excellent films. Oh, man. I mean, those two and Halloween 2018, I think, are my three favorites. I don't know what it is, but they just have some sort of magic that maybe the other ones don't have. I love them. Love them so much. Legion, thank you for the $5 again, man. Really appreciate you. Oh, Morning Dew is saying, finally saw VHS 94, one of my favorite movies from 2021. I liked it, especially the robot scene. I'm going to watch VHS 99 tonight. The robot shit is fucking awesome, man. Oh my God. The first and the last two skits are great. The second one's not bad. It's fun. But man, the robot one, the vampire one, and Ratma are just, so good. Very, very good. VHS 99 is fun too. I think I like VHS 94 a little more, but VHS 99 is a lot of fun though. Killer flick. Had a blast with it. One of the directors, Flying Lotus, actually sent me a message while I was covering VHS 99 last year, and he thanked me for the coverage. I just thought that was the coolest thing. Like, Flying Lotus is one of my biggest influences. I just think he's an incredible director. Everything he's touched is so underrated, in my opinion. Oh my God. I love his work. I love what he's done. He's so gross and fucking crazy with everything he does. It's awesome. Speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, something I just love about movies in general is when they can be funny and scary at the same time. And Flying Lotus is one of the few directors that is able to capture that so well in a very unique style. And I can't remember his one. I can't actually remember the name of his one movie that I fucking love, but I don't know. I just love his style. I think he's great. He makes some good music too. Flying Lotus. Q-So, that's the movie. Q-So on Shudder, I recommend for my fans who like really gross shit. And if you don't like gross shit even at all, don't watch this movie. I don't recommend it if you don't like gross shit, because it's the grossest film I've ever seen, and I sat through the first two Human Centipede movies. So let's just say that. I loved it. I thought it was fucking spectacular. But my God. Oh, Barb, thank you for the $2. Speaking of VHS, would I ever consider reviving the horror podcast? Yes, actually I would. I want to. I really want to. I've been getting into podcasts again recently. I'm listening to, I always listen to the Dead Meat podcast. I turn it on every now and then if I'm cooking or getting ready in the morning, whatever I like to put on a podcast. But the Always Sunny podcast, I've been watching a lot of that recently again. I love it. I love, I really love doing it. It's a fun time. I'm thinking about bringing it back. Yeah, I might bring it back at some point. It was really fun doing those. We did, I did 4 podcasts on the VHS movies, and I want to say we did one more. I want to say we did 5 in total. But I kind of quit doing it just because it wasn't getting a whole lot of views on the page, and I wasn't I don't know, I guess I don't understand podcasts as well as I do YouTube. So at some point I will, absolutely. It was so much fun doing them. I would love to bring it back. It was basically just, here's a movie, we both watched it, and we're gonna me and someone else we're gonna bitch about it for for an hour. And it was a good time. It was really fun talking about all the VHS movies with all the different members of the collective. I talked about it with all of them. And who did I get for VHS? I got Bloody Breakdown. Bran from Bloody Breakdown was on the VHS viral one. Which we had a really good time talking about that crazy fucking movie. Jesus. Whew. Good shit, though. At some point I'll bring it back. Barb, making a movie, running 2 YouTube channels, and landscaping all at the same time. It's a lot. So old Jake doesn't want to start too many projects at the moment. But once I kind of, once everything starts to ease out, maybe in about a year here, I might bring it back. It might be fun. Absolutely, though. Thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I can do a weekly podcast at some point in the future when when this thing takes off a little more, as they say. What are we talking about? We're talking about VHS, the VHS franchise, and the podcast I was doing on it. It was very, very fun. Very fun stuff. Evil Dead is really intense. Sometimes I have trouble handling it. It is really intense. Oh, that new movie was fucking intense, huh? I got to see that movie a month before it released. And I just felt like the luckiest human being in the world. That was the funnest theater experience I've ever had in my life, watching Evil Dead Rise. It's always going to be one that that's just very close and near and dear to my heart for that reason. I love it. It's such a good movie. I hardly would want to change anything about it. It's such a fun movie, man. Fuck. Oh, it's so crazy. I was worried about it too. I was really worried about Evil Dead Rise. I didn't think it would have any balls. I didn't think it would have balls to kill some of the characters in that movie. And it had some balls, dude. had some balls. If you haven't seen Evil Dead Rise yet, watch it. It's excellent. It's one of the best horror films of the year, I think. Without a doubt. Without a doubt in my mind. There's a lot of good movies coming soon, though. There's a lot of movies that people have recommended to me, like Wrath of Becky, too, that I still have to watch. So, gotta watch that soon. Want to put it on. Want to see where it lands on the list. My top 10's not looking so great for 2023. That's honestly why I think I made that big stink about my video on Saturday about Infinity Pool. I'm like, this movie was excellent, but I haven't been super blown away by too many other 2023 horror movies. Evil Dead Rise, Scream 6, and Infinity Pool have like blew my fucking mind. I was like, these are killer flicks, but I don't know. There's been some other good ones here and there. You know, like Skinamarink was interesting. Very, very different experimental movie. So I'm like, okay, that stands out. Megan was a lot of fun. Really fun movie. I'm halfway through this movie called Influencer that has a pretty good start. Influencer was pretty interesting on Shudder, I believe. Didn't take the usual influencer horror route that I thought it was going to take. I'm like, oh, okay. Interesting. So I got to get through that. I don't have a full review on it yet, but so far I'm impressed. And I don't do half reviews of things anymore. I got to stop talking about shit I haven't finished yet. Because one time I came on stream after watching the first 30 minutes of The Sadness and said it was the greatest horror movie that's ever been made. Then I watched the third act and it falls apart. I was like, the beginning of this movie is excellent. And the rest of this movie is, I don't know what happened. Starts off so good. Anyways, getting to this, Johnny. Throwing £2 in there because you're from the UK. I think so. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. $1.99, baby. Johnny, I appreciate that so much. Saying Friday the 13th legacy sequel from part 4 with Kane and Corey. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, Kane Hodder as Jason would be fucking awesome. Another actor that's definitely up there, but I'd love to see him. I absolutely love to see him play Jason again. That would be a lot of fun. And you're talking about Corey Feldman coming back to play Tommy Jarvis. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. I'd want it personally. Tom Matthews is my Tommy Jarvis. I think Tom Matthews is excellent, especially in part 6, and he's also in the fan films as well. Hopefully we get I would be down for that, for a legacy sequel with like Tom Matthews. You know, we have the character of Tommy Jarvis back. I'm into it. I need a reason for the story to go a new place, opposed to where it went. Opposed to where it went. You know what I mean? Like I really like part 6. Part 6 is a lot of fun. It's a really goofy, ridiculous movie. I want to see what would we do? What would be the motivation for a legacy sequel with those characters again? Because I'm almost at the point where they should make another movie like the 2009 flick, where it's just hard reboot, just Jason running around killing new characters again. I'm not like Tommy Jarvis. I think is fine. I'm not crazy about the character. I think once again, big standout in part 6 and part 4 actually. Part 5 too. Honestly, hot take. I like part 5. Part 5's fun, but I don't know. Do I care to see this character again? Besides what they're doing in the new Womp Stomp movie, I don't know. I feel like whatever Womp Stomp is about to do may even be better than whatever an actual movie might do. So I'm so hyped for that. Like Womp Stomp's Never Hike Alone. I love that. Never Hike in the Snow I like even more. And Never Hike Alone too. I just can't wait to fucking see what it's gonna be, man. I'm really excited. So hopefully we get some more kills, because that kill in Never Hike in the Snow is excellent. Like just it's a top tier Jason kill. And my God, it was in a fan film. Like holy shit. So I'm very excited to see what Womp Stomp does with it. I'm honest to God, hot take, I'm more excited for Womp Stomp's Never Hike Alone 2 than I am the Crystal Lake series or whatever the fuck Sean Cunningham's cooking up right now. So hot takes, but man, Womp Stomp is excellent. They killer track record, man. Watch some of their other short films too. If you don't believe me, if you've only seen the Never Hike Alone stuff, watch their other shit. It's fucking sick. They nothing but good stuff over there. I could not recommend them more than I already do. But Johnny, I appreciate the support, my friend. And I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. I really do. So thank you. Thank you. What else do we got? What else we got going on here? Hey, Jake, have you seen Suspiria 2018? I believe the Olga death scene is still the most fucked up scene I've ever seen in a movie. So disturbing and shocking. Is that the one where, so I've only seen it once. Is that the one where she like bends and breaks all of her bones or whatever the fuck? I remember that. That was pretty fucked up. That was probably one of the better moments in that whole movie. I need to watch Suspiria again. I need to give that one another try because I wasn't crazy about it the first time I watched it. I appreciated the fuck out of Tilda Swinton in that movie, though, who plays multiple roles and very, very different roles too, which is insane. I thought that was great. There was a certain element to the plot that I'm trying to remember this movie. I watched this like 2 years ago and I did a review on it, I want to say, but there were some things about the plot that I was like, why are we focusing on this? Like, there's a much cooler element at hand here that we're not focusing on, and that's a shame in my opinion. But I also got, I started to, after watching like X and Pearl and stuff, I'm like, wow, Mia Goth is a really good actress. I need to go back and watch all these other movies she's been in. And Suspiria is one, I don't even remember her role. Like, I genuinely don't even remember what Mia Goth even did in that movie. So I need to go back and watch it. Same with, it's literally over, I have a shelf over here. It's literally, I borrowed a movie from my buddy called A Cure for Wellness, which I've never seen. And Mia Goth is also in that. Need to see it. I missed all these movies. Unfortunately, I hopped on the Mia Goth bandwagon right when everyone else did, right when X and Pearl came out. So I need to go back and watch all these other movies with her in it because, man, must be some good performances. I've yet to be disappointed by a Mia Goth performance from recent memory. So I'm excited to go back to some of these other movies and see what else is going on. So hell yeah, Morning Dew. I'm going to give that one another chance. I enjoyed parts of it, but some of it felt very, very... how do I want to say this? Like, very long-winded. Like, so there was a lot of storytelling where I'm like, okay, we're just really appreciating this right now. Okay, cool. Taking its time. It's really taking its time. Hot take, I would like to see another collector movie. Dragon Ball, they filmed it. They filmed some of it, at least. Here's a little set photo from that for you. I was so fucking ready for that, huh? Damn. The Collector 3, it was called The Collected. It's going to come out, and then the producers ghosted old Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton, unfortunately. So maybe one day they'll be able to do it, but who knows? I hope so, though, Dragon Ball, because I love the first two. They're so good. Killer flicks. So fucking scary. I saw someone calling torture porn not a low form of cinema. Come on, y'all. Torture porn's fun. Saw X is coming out. Are we not excited for Saw X? Get excited for people getting ripped apart by machines. Come on. I'm excited for that, but I don't know, man. Maybe that's just me. Gunner, this is a hilarious question. Do I find the story of Cricket from Always Sunny sad or funny? I mean, kind of both, that's kind of the point. He's introduced as a priest who, as the gang just keeps fucking with him, basically just keeps deteriorating into a worse and worse person, unfortunately. It's crazy. It's crazy shit, man. I fucking love it. I think it's so funny. David Hornsby, who plays Cricket too, obviously finds it funny too. But man, there's something... dark humor is something that's really grown on me. When I was a kid, I would see something disturbing or whatever, and I would just be terrified. Like dark endings of movies, I'd be like, "Oh, I don't like those. I don't like tragedies. They make me sad." But I've learned to really respect and love those. After I've seen, you see 1,000 movies with a happy ending, and you kind of are like, yeah. Kind of wish at some point just all the characters would fucking die. It's a thought that crosses your head at some point, and it's the same thing with Cricket on Always Sunny. It's like it feels like a taboo thing to laugh at. You know what I mean? I think that's why it's so funny. I think that's why it cracks me up so much where, you can tell a joke about just someone being successful and they slip on their face. Oh, banana peel. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I've seen that, a million times. But someone devolving from, this guy who's got their shit together, and all that, and into basically a homeless person who, yeah, well, what happens to Cricket basically in Always Sunny? There's something taboo and funny about that, and I think that's why I'm so drawn to shows like Always Sunny and horror films in general. I love that shit. I can't get enough of it. So much shit is safe nowadays. So when you get something that feels so like, oh, you can't do that. Like, you can't say that. Like, I love shit. Like, I'm drawn to it. Like, it's just so nothing else. Not too many things not too many movies or shows or whatnot has balls nowadays. And when you get something like Always Sunny or a crazy horror flick, Infinity Pool too, I think has a lot of balls for some of the shit it does. I love it. I love it. It's just the thing that speaks to me more than any kind of media. Saw X can F itself. It's going to kick ass, Dylan. I'm sorry, man, but it's going to kick ass. My man Kevin Grutert is going to do an excellent job with it. It's going to be one of the best ones of the series. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Saw X, baby. Let's go. Yurdy G is saying, I'm late, but I'm in this biatch. Nice. Pumped for Scarefest. First 10 shots on me. Yurdy G, let's fucking go, man. I see your 10 and I raise you 11. Let's make it fucking happen, baby. Let's lose our fucking minds at Scarefest. Yurdy, I don't know if you've ever been to Horror Hound before, but Horror Hound, they have this like local brewery come in and they'll like do like these crazy craft beers. They do this one. It's a killer clown from outer space, like some kind of ale that tastes like cotton candy, and it sounds weird and gross, but it's Oh, that was a burp. But it's fucking amazing. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. I can't really drink too much alcohol nowadays. I just get a crazy headache instead of getting drunk, which sucks. But I had a few of those beers while I was there, and I was like, oh, these are tasty. These are nice. I can usually have a beer, and then I'm good. Or a shot. Like I can have a beer, a shot, and that's it. I don't know what it is, but after that, I get a headache. I don't even get drunk. It sucks. But Johnny is throwing another 5 pounds in there. Thank you so much, my friend. Johnny, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. There's so many things that we could do, but KillJoy Jake is the one we do. What you trying to say here, Johnny? what you trying to say, Johnny? What's going on here? UK fans love him. Well, I love you too, Johnny, and all of the other people out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. It means a whole lot. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate your support. Only love to all my friends out there. You guys are the best. Thank you. Cricket will end up as a skeleton. Probably, man. I just, you know what's really funny about this? I was talking about starting my day with a podcast the other day. I do like to do that. I watched the one where David Hornsby is talking about Cricket and his evolution literally this morning, and it's so fucking funny. Like the shit that they want to do with him moving forward. They have like they were throwing around some like thrown out ideas for what to do with Cricket next in Always Sunny, and like it's the craziest shit. They're like, they wanted him to have like a rickshaw service. He's doing like Uber on one of those things with the bikes and the cart in the back. I'm like, that's ridiculous, man. That's so fucking funny. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see Cricket back in there at some point. When was did we see him last in season 14? I want to say the Cricket Tale episode. I've seen that show so many fucking times. Goddamn. Oh, love it. Jake, why wasn't Chad limping in Scream 6 like how Dewey was in Scream 2? Does he specifically say he had nerve damage though? I don't think we talk about Chad's injuries to the full extent where we do with Dewey in Scream 2. So that's why he kind of had to commit to that, you know, like you see him do the limp in every movie. David Arquette, excellent actor. He never forgets to do that shit. But yeah, Chad doesn't explicitly talk about his injuries at all. I don't believe in any of the movies. And I think he just gets stabbed in the side to my knowledge. So I don't know if that would count or I don't know. Cause Dewey gets stabbed in the back in the first movie, and that's what they explain in Scream 2, I believe, right? If I'm remembering correctly, it's Scream 2. It's been a minute. Haven't watched that one in a hot sec. I know some people who can read, can literally you can go up to them and be like, hey, give me a line from this movie, and they can just give me a whole fucking word for word line. I can't do that shit. I don't know how people do that. I've probably seen the first 3 Scream movies 20 times at least, for all of them on separate occasions. I don't know. I couldn't. There's some lines I can remember because they really stick out, but I know some people who can fucking whip some crazy shit out for you, and it's this is a line from the movie. I'm like, how do you remember that? That's awesome. I guess my memory is just not that good, but man, I wish I could do that shit. Shit's awesome. Perfect memory, crazy shit out here, man. Leonardo DiCaprio. Look at that. Look at that. Very nice. Long time no see, broski. I'll be buying the logo shirt. Hey, hell yeah, man. I fucking love it. Leonardo DiCaprio, I just have to say, it has been a long time, and it's very nice to see you, because that name just brings a smile to my face every time I see it. Sir, if I met you, I would shake your hand. This name cracks me up so much. I love it. I sometimes I'm just brushing my teeth, and I just go, Leonardo DiCaprio. What a guy. Funny shit, man. No, it's very funny. Very funny. I love it. Love it, man. And if you buy a shirt, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I'll say, I didn't say this earlier too when I was promoting all the shirts and shit, but if you get a shirt, post it online. Like send me a picture. I want to see it. I want to be like, oh shit, no way. This person bought a shirt. I'll put it up on my story and all that. I want to see all this crazy shit. So a few people have messaged me saying they bought shirts. So I'm like, if you get them, I'm going to post them. I'm going to post them up there. So throw them up there to tag me in it and all that shit. We'll make it happen. Leonardo, thank you so much for the $2, man. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the badass shirt too. Thank you. Thank you. Some folks have photographic memory. I have an audiographic memory. I can recite Eight-Legged Freaks 100%. Oh, okay. So there you go. So there's a difference. Photographic, audiographic. So it's like audio just sticks with you, is basically what you're saying. I have that with like music. Like music, if I hear something, I played music, like I played the guitar since I was like 9 years old. Nowadays, if I hear something, I can be like, okay, that's an A major to an F sharp minor or something. You know what I mean? Like I just that's literally a song I just learned too. There's this band called Honey Revenge that they have this killer tune called Airhead that I really liked. I was like, oh, okay, very nice. Big shout out to them, by the way. Follow them on social media. Honey Revenge, killer band. It came up in my feed the other day, really blew my mind. And I kind of was just like, okay, that's, yeah, A to B to F sharp. Cool. I can do that shit. I can't do the remembering lines and pictures and exactly how the way a movie flows. Fuck, man. Listen, if y'all think that I go to the movie theater and I come home and I just kind of talk in my review videos, I don't. Like, the truth is, I pull up the Wikipedia article and all that shit, and I gotta follow through and make sure I don't miss anything. Because, like, I'll miss something, man. It's fucking, my memory's not all that good, you know? I gotta stop. I can't finish that sentence. But not so great. Not so great with the old memory, anyways. I guess is my point. That's very cool, though. I didn't know there was a difference there. But makes sense. I like it. I like it, Dylan. You learn something new every day, folks. I love it. Jake, do you accept tips outside of YouTube? They do take 30% of the pie. If you accept via Venmo or whatevs, please say so. Happy to send some coinage now and again. Well, Barb, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I actually might throw up the Venmo link or whatever. I don't know. I hate asking for stuff like that, I guess. But I do really appreciate the support from everybody. You guys are all so fantastic. Y'all are keeping the lights on that are currently changing colors. It's Pride Month, okay? Listen, I was trying to do something special, okay? Trying to make something fun. What else can I do with this crazy ass shit? Okay. Hang on. Let's have a party. There we go. What's this one? Flash. Okay. Bam, they'll turn on and off. You know, I like the smooth better, actually. Crazy fucking lights. Hell yeah, though, Barb. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. What else do we got here? Noah Atkinson is saying, Scream 7 should cast Tom Holland. Noah Atkinson, you are pitching this, man. You really want Tom Holland and Zendaya. For those of you who are for those of you who are new around the grapevine, that is the KillJoy Jake page. Noah Atkinson has been around in the streams for a while, pitching Tom Holland and Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet a few times to be in this next movie. I would love it. I would absolutely love that, but I think the movie would have to have a $100 million budget. And my God, they would be great choices. Oh, they would be excellent choices, I think, for a Scream movie. Maybe if they could get them for cheaper, that would be really cool. I'd love to see that. It's always a shame when you see actors get so big to the point where it's like they're just not, they're just not doing horror movies anymore. It's just the big movies, moving forward. It always makes me sad. Florence Pugh absolutely could happen. Sydney Sweeney, Dr. Montgomery. Yeah, no, those are all valid choices for sure. That could totally happen. Benedict Cumberbatch is a tough one though. Bob Odenkirk. Who would you want Bob Odenkirk to play in a Scream movie? Excellent actor. I'm watching Better Call Saul right now too. Such a good show. Jesus Christ. But I'm curious who you would want Bob Odenkirk to play. It's a very interesting choice. Because we had Henry Czerny playing a therapist in the last movie. Kind of barely had anything to do with the plot. A little inefficient there, in my opinion. But I wonder what Bob Odenkirk would do. Very silly guy. He's got a background from Second City and all that. And also he can fucking act too, as we learned from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But I wonder who he would play in the Scream universe. It's very interesting. Well, Sarah, you crack me up. Well, I don't mind asking. Give Jake your money if you want to support him, Sarah. Sarah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I do the same thing, Jake. When I review or talk about movies, I sometimes Google things so that I don't forget anything because my memory is not always that good. Me too. Like I have year one of KillJoy Jake. I would review movies and be like, oh yeah, this happened. That was pretty cool. And then I'm like, okay, I got to do better than that. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I want this to be thought out, organized. I organize my thoughts now. Sometimes, depending on the movie, I'll run through the story of what was happening. If there's certain plot points I want to hit on, if that's a certain aspect, but most times I kind of just like to talk about the things I really liked and the things I really disliked and go into deep detail. If it's something about the plot specifically that I loved or really disliked, whatever, then I'll run through a plot. I structure my reviews differently based on every movie. You can't review every movie the same way. That's just not how it works. Every movie's different. ASMR Nocturnal is with us. What's going on, man? What's up? Are you excited for Saw in October? And were you a fan of House of Wax, the remake specifically? I enjoyed it. Dude, I'm so excited for Saw X. I think it's gonna be fucking killer. I love the Saw movies. I think they're so much fun. I don't know. I put them on from that's been my I don't know what to watch. What do I watch? That's been it. Very excited for it. Can't wait for it. Probably the release in October that I'm the most excited for. Besides VHS 85, I'm very excited for that too, which will most likely come out in October. Or did that get confirmed? I can't remember, man. VHS 85, the news is going to roll in slow with that one, I believe, but I'm very excited for it nonetheless. And was I a fan of House of Wax 2006? I think it's 2005. I can't remember. It's a remake though. I like it. I think it's good. I'm not crazy about it, but I enjoyed it. Like you, ASMR Nocturnal, I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. I don't believe I've ever seen the Vincent Price one or the original. Yeah, that's Vincent Price. Memory's real foggy, as I was saying. I don't think I've seen the original, so I want to see that and compare and contrast. I always love doing that with remakes, requels, whatever. Seeing where it came from and how it got to here, because I've really only seen the here and not where it started. So I'm excited to see that, see where House of Wax 2005 took it. That's how I like to judge remakes, at least. Because you look at something like the original Fly from, I believe that was the 50s versus the 80s David Cronenberg one, and how wildly different those movies are. But they still pull similar things from that original into the remake, and then up the gore and the monster effects and all that shit. And the plot line is, the character relationships are different, but the plot is essentially the same. I love that. I love what they pulled from that movie and what they decided to change. And that's at least how I like to judge remakes based on why did they made a educated decision to change this about that. Why? Why was that a thing? I think you gotta kind of see an original to really appreciate a remake, if that makes sense. So I want to see the original and go back and do all these. I have so many fucking movies to watch after the past couple of streams. You guys just keep recommending the best shit. I can't help it. I gotta watch all these movies. ASMR Nocturnal though, I do enjoy that movie. Like I said, I feel like I haven't gotten the full scope of it because I haven't seen the original though. Morning Dew is asking about a movie called Run. I believe this was the one with Sarah Paulson in it. I did not see it. I heard it was pretty solid though. I'm mixing this up with the one where she's the crazy doctor, but that's not that movie. Is Run the one where she's evil though too? Ooh, I can't remember. I remember Sarah Paulson's in it. I just can't remember what it's about. I have not seen it though. I remember seeing the trailer for it. It looked interesting. I just never got around to it. Old Jake unfortunately can't get around all the movies. We're always working over here, unfortunately. But I seriously got to take a week. Just I got to spend a day writing down all the movies I need to see. Spend a week just catching up because there's 100 movies from the past, just even the past 3 years that I just never got around to. Austin's with us. What's up, Austin? How's it going, man? Welcome, Austin 530. What's going on, my dude? Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm probably going to go for a little longer tonight than the usual 2 hours. Have I seen the Outwaters? So I have seen the Outwaters, and okay, here's my thing about the Outwaters, right? I drove over 2 hours to see it. I live in the Cleveland area. I had to drive to Columbus, which is about 2 hours, 2.5, depending on traffic. I drove all the way out there for this movie that was promised to be the best found footage movie of all time. High hopes going into this one, and I don't know, man. I just it did not do it for me. It's the same issue I have with the Blair Witch Project. Like, I appreciate that movie, and I appreciate especially the marketing campaign behind it, but nothing fucking happens. Like, nothing happens. It's just people screaming in the woods. It's the same thing with the Outwaters. It's just people screaming in the desert. That's all it is. I don't know. I get it. I get what they were trying to do, and I appreciate it. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, man. And the effects are really rough too, which I hate. I hate even saying that, because I think there were some really good ideas bounced around in the Outwaters, and I think with better execution, I would have loved it. But it just, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Concept overall was cool, but I hated the characters. The effects didn't look great, and it was just like the tiniest little pinpoint of a light for basically 50 minutes. I was just like, man, I don't know. You got to give me more than that. They barely give you an explanation as to what's going on, which I don't really mind that. I know some people have taken issue with it. That wasn't the problem I had with it. It's just the story was so incohesive and so random, and I don't know. I just wish there was a little bit more to the pie than what we got. Sometimes movies can be too abstract, I will say. I love a good ambiguous story where you don't necessarily get all the pieces of the puzzle, but you got to give me enough to at least know what's going on. You can leave the ending ambiguous. You can leave certain elements ambiguous. But if everything is just out in the open, anybody's guess, that's too much. That's going too far into the whole, thinker movie category shit. Like, it's too much. I know that there's 2 other Outwaters short films that are on Screenbox currently, and maybe those give you some more answers, but I almost just, I don't know. Wasn't crazy about it. But Outwaters, I don't know. Interesting movie. I think if you're someone who likes the Blair Witch Project, I think you'll dig the Outwaters. I think you'll like it. But I'm just not the biggest, wasn't the biggest fan of it. But a lot of people loved it. Like, I saw a lot of people on Twitter especially tweeting at the director, who is also the star of it, who just were in love. Like, they're like, this is the best found footage movie ever, and I'm glad so many people really liked it. So that makes me happy. That makes me happy that a lot of people went out and saw an indie horror flick and loved it. That I'm what I will say is that more people should take more chances on indie horror, because I think a lot of them, Outwaters being an outlier, most of them are great. Most of the time I'm blown away. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm blown away. And, every now and then you get something like the Outwaters where it's very, very decisive and maybe too experimental. But regardless, this movie went out and tried to do something very different that other found footage movies don't dare to try. And I respect it for that. I don't necessarily think it was successful, but I appreciate it. And I appreciated that it at least attempted to do that. Most big movies with, millions of dollars behind them can't even say that. So I respect the Outwaters. It's not like a trash, horrible movie. I'm not saying that by any means. I just personally wasn't a big fan of it, but I appreciate how ambitious it was, for sure. And you said you were frustrated with it. I really wanted to like it, but man, I was so bummed. I was pretty bummed too. I was, leaving the theater, the 2.5 hour car ride home with my brother. I was just like, dude, I'm so sorry, man. I'm sorry I dragged you out to this. Okay, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. I don't think I'm driving more than 2 hours for movies anymore, man. The last 2 times I've done that, I've been disappointed, and they were like the longest drives I've had, which really sucked. I got an early screener for another big blockbuster that I was kind of disappointed with. I won't say, but yeah, crazy shit, man. It's nuts. It's you're always rolling the dice with something you've just never seen before. So, but it's always fun. It's a gamble, and there's part of that makes it fun. So Friday the 13th, Jason Lives definitely needs a direct sequel. A lot of people have been talking about it, especially the Part 6 director. His name I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember reading an article about how this guy had a whole pitch about a Jason Lives sequel that took place in the snow. I was gonna have the meta humor and all the silly stuff. So I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been fun. Jason in the snow is something I would love to see in a full movie too. That would be awesome. The ride back was longer, huh? Yeah. Yeah. The whole time we were just like, why did they do this? Like, why didn't they do this instead? Yeah, it was a lot of that. It was a lot of. Well, we talked about it the whole time too. Like, I don't know if my brother's around, but We talked about it the whole time. Like, just like, why did they like that? The one part was so cool. Why wasn't the whole movie just that? Oh, it was a lot of that. It was very interesting. Barb is asking, what are your top 3 most rewatched horror movies? I like the ones that I just love, like the ones that I go back to, comfort horror movies. Like when I just need to put something on. For the longest time, Insidious was up there. I haven't watched them recently. I think just not to overdo it with that. I those are such easy, fun watches. I think that's why I like those so much. The original Insidious was up there for a long time. I haven't watched it very recently though, because I want to do like I said, I don't want to over Insidious myself. You know, I want to go into the 5th film with fresh eyes. I'm trying to think, like, man, what do I put on repeat a lot? David Cronenberg's The Fly is one I watch a lot. That's my favorite horror movie of all time. Love that one. Scream is definitely up there. Halloween is definitely up there. What else do I watch a lot? Piranha 3D, just because I love gore, man. Gore is so great, and that has just such a great kill sequence. I think right towards the end. Everyone remembers that as the booby fish movie, but it's more than just that. Okay, it's more than that. We talked about this on the last stream. I'm not getting into not getting into the Piranha 3D rant again, but I love that movie. It's fun. I'm really trying to think what else. My big thing lately has been to watch a new horror movie every single day. Ever since I started this channel, my goal has been try to watch as many new movies as physically possible. And I for the most part, I've done that. Every now and then I'll really get into some crazy shit. I've watched like probably 400 or 500 movies in just the past 3 years that I had never seen before. And it was nuts. It was like, oh shit. Got through a lot of like franchises that I now love, you know, like Halloween and Nightmare. Those were 2. Oh, and Friday the 13th. I got through all 3 of those franchises in like the first year I was doing this. Those were so fun. Oh my God. Those were so fun the first time around. Like just not knowing what to expect, not knowing anything about them. So definitely the slashers are ones I come back to a lot. You know, another just easy watch. You don't have to, nothing you have to pay too close attention to. It's just fun. It's just people getting killed. I love Cronenberg movies though, and I especially love Brandon Cronenberg. I think Brandon Cronenberg is just maybe my favorite horror director of the modern day, as they say. I love his movies. Infinity Pool and Possessor are maybe my 2 favorite 2020 horror flicks. And Antiviral's pretty good too. That one's really solid. But those 2, Possessor and Infinity Pool, just hold a very special place in my heart. I'm trying to think what else I watch a lot. Just tough. I don't know. Like I said, my big thing has been to watch a new horror movie as much as possible, but those are the ones that I frequent a lot. It Follows is another one. It Follows is a big one that oh my God, I've watched that movie probably 50 times. It Follows is so good. The soundtrack is so wonderful. Barb, thank you for the $2 though. I do really appreciate it. But my big thing about movies that I'll rewatch a lot is they got to have a good score. Like, I think that's one of the most crucial elements to me liking a movie. Like Scream 6, I don't think enough people praised the score. I'm going to be honest. Listen, Brian Tyler gave us some more like atmospheric, typical horror movie stuff for Scream 5. But moving into Scream 6, man, I think my man stepped it up a lot, and I don't think enough people are talking about that. The Scream 6 score absolutely fucks. I'm going to be completely honest, too. It's one of my favorites from the whole franchise. I love it. There's something about it. It's very specific. When I hear it, I think Scream 6. I can picture the movie in my mind. If I can do that with music, that's so important. Like Halloween, It Follows, Scream, the original, those 3 I watch so many times because the score is so good and so iconic and so unique. Music is very important to me when it comes to horror flicks. If it has a good score, I tend to like it a lot more, even if the movie's not so great. Okay, hang on. Now I got to find this fucking movie. There's this movie. Okay, I watched this movie on Tubi a little while back. I think it's called like, it's like 2 words and it's like She's Alive or something like that. And I'm gonna be honest, the movie wasn't great, but the score was fucking excellent. And I've seen it twice. Like I've seen it twice for that reason. I can't even remember the name of it, but all I remember from the movie is like this girl emerges from a pond and it's like a backwards shot and she's like completely naked, covered in blood. So like when she comes out, it looks like the water is like the blood or whatever, and she's covered in it. But she's really just walking backwards into the pond, I think. That's like the one shot I remember from the movie, and it's like the scariest moment in the whole film because like she's like, it's like a female killer kind of movie. The score is so fucking good. Like I cannot remember the name of it, but this movie had an excellent score. Plot and kills were fine, but man, like a score is so important to me. That's up there. Yes. Oh, Sarah Campbell. Thank you so much for the support, Sarah. Talking about the Fear Street trilogy. Yes. The soundtrack for all three of those movies, absolute bangers, especially 94 though, especially that first one. Oh my God. Or is it 94? Fear Street 94? Am I thinking about VHS? Probably VHS, but Fear Street soundtrack was killer. Score was killer too. I really liked the score in the Jason one, the second one, the 70s one. That was fucking killer, man. Had a very Harry Manfredini vibe to it, which I really enjoyed. So I don't know, man. Music is so important. That really makes me remember a movie better. Me and Villain Killin' Dylan, I guess, have have similar minds, audio, but me for music as opposed to dialogue. but Sarah, thank you so much for the 220. I really appreciate it. Your support means a whole lot. Thank you. Need good music, man. Need good music. 78 was my favorite. 78 was really good. I really, the first two were excellent. The third one, it was okay. It was all right. Third one was all right. Really picked up at the end though, for sure. Oh shit, everybody. Carrie Crave Cinema has been a member for 14 whole fucking months. Holy shit. Carrie, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Queen of the Damned has the best soundtrack ever. I've heard this. Wait, is Queen of the Damned the one with the mushroom head on it? Hold on. Hey, back it up. I have a whole fucking story here. Queen of the Damned. Is that it? Queen of the Damned. Damned. I think this is it. Maybe. Oh, maybe this is it. Okay, one of these movies from like the early thousands, right, has Mushroom Head on the soundtrack. Now, Mushroom Head is a local Cleveland band, and I think it's actually Scorpion King, now that I'm remembering it. But one of these weird like thousands movies got this song from Mushroom Head, and it's on there. They're a local Cleveland band, and they blew up for it, like this one song. They're a one-hit wonder, has this crazy song. I think it's just really funny. I think it's just so funny that there's like this band that like I actually know that's from Cleveland, and they have this song on this big movie, and it's fucking sweet. So I just think that's great. I don't know. Very cool stuff. Sorry. Side tangent over. I just thought that was really, really sick. Sun Doesn't Rise. Yeah. Yeah, that song. Yeah. Sun doesn't rise at all, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, man. Kav is coming over. Welcome. Come on over, Kav. I'm making dinner. I'm making dinner after this. Come sit on down at the table. We'll have some dinner. We'll watch a horror movie. It'll be fun. Bat Super is joining us too. What's up? What's up, Bat? How's it going? I need David Schwimmer to be a Ghostface killer. Imagine when he unmasks and he's doing his Ross Geller. Oh my God. But like really unhinged. That would work, you know. You gotta have Courtney Cox in that movie. Like if you don't, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, come on, you're gonna have that and not do that? Come on, man. That's gotta happen. Very funny stuff though, Bat Super. I love it. I love it. Get the whole Friends cast in there. That'd be hilarious. What else we got going on here? Horror Dennis saying Urban Legends should come back for a requel and give us something similar to what Craven wanted with Jill. It's years later and we follow Brenda fighting off a killer who knows her secret. I agree. That actually would be pretty sweet. Rebecca Gayheart is so good in those movies. Like, you want to talk about a killer making certain movies. I think she makes... Oh, did I just spoil that for some people? I might have. The movie came out in 1998. Come on, y'all. Killer movie, though. I highly recommend it. Urban Legends, I think, like, the first two movies I really enjoyed. The second one's weird, but that first movie, I think, is without a doubt my favorite Scream, like... It's not a Scream clone. I always want to say that. You know, that's not fair. It's very different from Scream, but it basically has the exact same tone and style of characters. But Urban Legend's a lot of fun. It's definitely my favorite of the post-Scream slasher movies, without a doubt. Ty Lee, what's up? Dropping in to say what's up. What's up? Welcome to the stream, my friend. How's it going? And Austin has been a member for 6 months. How about them apples? Austin, thank you so much for the support, my friend. Saying, Jake, have you seen Nefarious? It's very, very well done. This is okay, so I was talking earlier about streaming movies that have been recommended to me. This is one of them. Have not seen this yet. Might have to check it out. But I will check it out. Once again, Austin, another movie I will check out for you, and I'm going to write it down. so many movies. So many movies. I gotta whittle this list down at some point. One or the other, and make it happen. But I love it, Austin. Thank you so much for being a member, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Dr. DR, hanging out in the chat with us. What's up? It's not horror related, but I gotta ask, have you watched The Sopranos? I know about The Sopranos. I pretty much know the concept and all that. I have not seen it though. I hear it's a great show. I'm watching Better Call Saul right now because that's just, I need to watch it. I watched Breaking Bad like twice through. It's like my favorite show right now. I gotta watch Better Call Saul. Like I hear it adds so much to Breaking Bad, and I just gotta watch it. I just gotta sit down and actually get through it. I'm almost through season 2 at the moment, and I'm trying to finish it at some point relatively soon. But The Sopranos I really want to watch that. I've heard unbelievably good things. This and like The Wire, I've had a lot of people talk about, like older shows that are like excellent. Both of those, I guess, are really good. And I want to sit down and watch them at some point. Shows are a much bigger ask than a movie, like that's a time commitment. So if I'm going to put that in for a show with the very limited free time I have, it's got to be something that I know is going to be good. This is such a shitty thing to say, but like, I'm just like, I can't invest time in a show that's just mid, I have no interest in the Disney Plus MCU stuff. Like I like the MCU and I want to follow it, but I powered through WandaVision and that was a waste of time. I got to be honest. With how that ended, I don't understand how that happened. How they can just make every single thing the same, CGI fight battle right at the end's crazy to me. What else do we got going on? Jake's streaming for 2 hours. I know, I'm going crazy. Logan, I have seen Game of Thrones, and that was another one where I'm like, I can't fucking believe this ended the way it did. But so, like, the first 7 seasons are excellent. I recommend that. I recommend watching 1 through 7. Seasons 1 through 7 are so good. Like, some people want to shit on season 6 and 7. I don't know, man. There's some great stuff going on there too, in my opinion. But man, I don't know what the fuck happened with season 8. Something crazy. But yeah, I liked Game of Thrones though, for the most part. For the most part, it's really well done. I'm gonna watch your video on who should play Freddy Krueger right after this. Hell yeah, Extron. I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching that. It's very fun. We were talking about this earlier about people who we want to suggest as Freddy Krueger. My criteria for that video was someone who I know could play Freddy Krueger scary and silly at the same time. So that's why there was 3 actors specifically that I talked about versus like, I probably could have talked about like 10, 11, 12, honestly, but there was 3 for sure. I didn't talk about Bill Skarsgård, and I probably should have instead of Kevin Bacon. Hot take. I really thought about it. He's definitely up there for me as a contender for Freddy Krueger, but he's already Pennywise, that's why I'm like, my man's already, he's killing it. I wanted to talk about some more underrated choices. Kevin Bacon I had to throw out there because he's Robert Englund's first choice, so I had to put that in there. When is the new Jason movie coming? Great question, my friend. We know that the series from A24 and Peacock, Victor Miller, that should be coming out sometime next year, maybe end of the year. I'm hearing conflicting reports on that. The Jason movie, all we know about it is that it's in pre-production. That's really all we know. No big update on it yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully something. Have I ever seen Shark Night? Yes, I really like Shark Night's a lot of fun, Talia. It came out like 2010. Not the best, but it's super entertaining. Reminds me of Piranha. Yes, absolutely. Very similar to Piranha. I like Shark Night because it just... I sound like a broken record at this point. It's something that does something different. It's a familiar concept, but it tries out something else. Instead of just having a big, great white shark swimming around a fucking pond and eating people for 90 minutes, they instead have these, a bunch of crazy sharks. There's a hammerhead. There's cookie cutter sharks. There's all these different kind of crazy animals in there. And I love that. I really appreciate Shark Night for what it is. Like you said, it's not a masterpiece by any means, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really fun shark movie. The one where when the shark jumps out of the water and gets the guy on the jet ski, that's so fucking funny. I love that shit. I love really fun movie though, regardless, Talia, for sure. I enjoy that one too, for the same reasons that I enjoy Piranha. It's just a dumb, fun fish movie, and I can put it on and have a good time with it. I own it. I own both of those movies. They're both very good. What are your thoughts on the Hostel movies? I'm about to go to sleep and wanted to ask one more question. I really like that. I really like the Hostel movies. I've only seen the first two, in all fairness. The third one I hear is also pretty good. It takes place in Vegas. Very excited to check that one out. But 1 and 2 are great in my opinion. I don't know. I think they're some of Eli Roth's best. I think they start off a little weird and horny, but the first one especially. But as you get more into the first Hostel, I think it just gets better as you go along. But Hostel 2, I almost, it's really growing on me. The more I watch Hostel 2, the more I like it. I think it's a killer movie. The first two are great. Both are excellent. If you like Saw, you'll absolutely love Hostel. If you're not crazy about like torture porn and all that, though, I know some people in the chat who aren't crazy about it. Then maybe not. Maybe don't go for it. I was talking about in my Infinity Pool review from this past Saturday how there's certain movies like about travel that scared the fuck out of me, and like it's the reason I get so much anxiety when I travel different places. Hostel and Infinity Pool are the two movies to do that, and Sarah Campbell is even hitting on that. It made me terrified to stay in hostels while traveling. Yep, yeah, 100%. Hostel and Infinity Pool are the two reasons I'm terrified to travel sometimes. So there you go. Holy shit. Ty Lee is spitting some facts too. If Deadpool 3 sucks and flops, the MCU is done for. That's the last MCU. Like I was saying, last MCU movie I care about was Guardians 3, but I gotta see Deadpool 3. Come on. Those first two movies are a lot of fun, very silly. I'm not like crazy about Ryan Reynolds humor, but like, man, those movies are fun. I like them. They're solid superhero movies, and that's slim pickings nowadays. So I'm gonna see them. Any chance for another drop at a good superhero movie, I'm gonna be there. I love superhero movies, I do, but ever since Endgame, they've been few and far between for the good ones, unfortunately. I only like Piranha because I'm orny. No, honestly, listen. My whole argument for that verb is that they're more than just booby fish movies, man. Like I really think that, you know, that's just a dumb, that's like the worst element to it, in my opinion, is the fact that there's just so much so much explicit nudity for no reason. The best part of that movie is the fucking gore in the third act. It's so well done. It's like the craziest practical effects. Even if the fish are like pretty bad CGI, the gore is pretty fucking fun. That's why I'm around. That's why I'm hanging out with those, you know, so hell yeah. One of my favorite movies that isn't horror, I love Starship Troopers. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. I frequent that a lot. I really enjoy Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think that's like, I don't know, it's not underrated. It's a perfectly rated movie. But it's a masterpiece. I love it. It's a really fun movie. That one, Starship Troopers, I love. That's horror. I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually a horror movie. Trying to think what else. RoboCop is a fucking masterpiece. I love RoboCop. I like anything that has to do with sci-fi or horror. I tend to like those are my two go-tos. Like 80s and 90s sci-fi movies are just so fucking awesome. Like I love anything that dives into sci-fi and that's like deep thinking sci-fi. I love Star Trek. Like I really love the Star Trek movies. Some of those are dumb, but a lot of them are crazy fun too. So love those movies. Ooh, those are some of my favorites. I'm trying to think of like what else. Like Paul Verhoeven, basically anything he's directed, I really like. Total Recall's another one. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. Total Recall is so good. Like that is the definition of like just a fun sci-fi adventure that makes you think. You know, it has a lot going on that really you can debate that movie all day, and I think that's just what's so. That's what I love about movies, is that you can talk about them constantly. There's some movies where it's just an open and shut case, and you know, and I just think that's really boring. You know, that's not as fun as something like Total Recall, where you can debate if what's going on is really happening or if it's all in his head. And there's so many clues on both ends of that spectrum throughout the whole film, and you never get a definite answer. That's what I love about movies, is being able to discuss that afterwards with your buddies. That's the best part of it all, in my opinion. Who's winning this fight between Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees? I'm thinking Mike Stomps, especially after Blumhouse. Ooh. So this is tough. Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees are both like basically unbeatable mastermind killers. They're both also characters who like are big dudes who don't speak and wear masks. You know, they're very similar. It's almost like a stalemate, in my opinion, between Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Like, I think why Freddy versus Jason works so well for me is because they're two very different killers that were very popular at the same time. And that's why that movie's so much fun. That's why it's a debate, who would win, Freddy or Jason? With Michael and Jason, it's a stalemate, in my opinion. Like, you could say, I think you can make an argument for either or based off of their powers, or depending on what different Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees we're talking about. Like, are we talking Jason Voorhees from part 6 where basically he's a reanimated corpse? Or are we talking about, you know, fucking part 5 Jason, who isn't really even Jason? You know what I mean? It's a Corey Cunningham situation. Or is this Michael Myers from Resurrection or from Halloween Kills? You know what I mean? It's that's where we can really get into the weeds of it. But besides that, at face value, it's a stalemate. You know what I mean? Like, depending on the types of characters, which versions of Michael or Jason, that's where we can really dive into some deep shit. I don't know if I would want this as a movie personally, but I respect it. I respect the conversation though, regardless. Whew. 2.5 hours, y'all. All right. I think old Jake's got to peace out. Jake's losing his voice. I don't want to completely be like this tomorrow morning. You know, I probably want to make a video tomorrow. So old Jake's going to get going, but it's been an absolute blast hanging out with y'all and talking horror and sci-fi and, you know, waking up in the morning and watching podcasts. It's always a good time. I want to leave you guys with one thing, a little bit of homework. 2 things. Be kind and good to your neighbor. Be nice to people this week. If you can do that, you've accomplished something big and something that most people can't do, unfortunately. I had some nasty people today, in fact, that I encountered, and that kind of sucks. So be nice, be good people, as Dead Meat James says, and me too, that I'm just repeating. But be a good person. Be kind to everybody in your life. The other thing I want to say is go watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because I want to convince some of y'all that Dennis Reynolds is going to be Freddy Krueger. Okay, listen. I think it's a possibility. I think it can happen. Go watch some of them episodes. Watch some of them episodes of Always Sunny. Focus on Dennis Reynolds. Tell me that man can't be Freddy Krueger. That's what I would say. So all the love to you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. As always, don't forget to kill it.